So, hello, hello. Probably gonna start this up in a minute just to get a quick start this time. So, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Hey, look at that. It's almost the big 60. They have been doing this for almost 60 episodes. Look at them go. These little RPers here. Little role plays. Look at them go. Look at them go. But yeah. Come on in, have a seat. We're gonna start in but a moment. I am going to get myself water. I am not coughing as crazy as I was before, so that's a good thing. Getting better, getting better. And yeah. I hope we can be entertaining for you and yours. We shall begin soon. Prepare yourselves. Could get interesting. Hey, Rayvarn, thank you for that raid, buddy. Just in time, because we are about to get this bad boy started, which is perfect because it gives me the opportunity to do the shout out thing before we get started. Perfect, there we go. But yeah, thanks for the raid. Come on in. Hey there, Toad. I see you over there with your top hat. Is it a cheesy top hat? It's probably a cheesy top hat. And also, congratulations, your name's gonna get mentioned on YouTube. Enjoy that. Boom, got him. Got him. But yeah, thank you for the raid. I'm rounding up the kids, rounding up the cats. The little cheese, hell yeah, brother. And yeah, we're about to get started actually. So sit back, relax, enjoy the RP. And for the inquiring minds, hello, I am Cubed. We are about to do some Dungeons and Dragons tonight. The Fallen, almost episode 60, almost. I typically do a variety of games. Tonight I usually start a little bit later because that's just when our game starts, but typically I stream at about 6 o'clock Pacific. I usually go about 4 or 5 hours. If a game's going good, 6 to 12 hours. It's a big bracket. Mostly for those who may not know, but you know, now you know. And then tomorrow's going to be another D&D campaign with a completely different group and a completely different vibe. So I hope you want to come check that out. That's we start that one at 5:30 Pacific, so about 2 hours from earlier from now. So if that's more your time, then by all means, come on by. But anywho, gotta get this started. Now that they've gotten their pre-game in, it's time.
And so basically, Cuth.
Nice.
So Cuth, his character is like really is a barbarian, no nonsense, straight to the point. And I'm like, yeah, I keep all my wagons in my briefcase, and he's like, prove it. And so now I have to like figure out how I'm gonna pull
Crack
this
it all
wagon out
open.
of my briefcase and all. And it was nonsense, but we fought this like circle of summoners, and we ended up defeating them just before they were able to summon this big bad. We're feeling all good about ourselves, and we turn back to head back to town, and there's just smoke pouring up from in the sky from where this town is, and basically the entire town's on fire and is getting overrun by two different factions, I think.
Ooh,
And so it's pretty crazy.
seemed pretty
And
epic.
side note to that, but more D&D stories. Um, I'm also in a game on Sunday that Cuth is running, and one of the coolest things that I've ever been a part of in D&D happened, and Cubed was there, And Cube might be able to set the scene a little bit better, but basically, if you're familiar with the Wild Beyond the Witchlight book, like
Oh,
campaign,
fun.
yeah. So we came across one of the hags. We started our episode in one of these hags like huts, basically. And
I'm
not
letting
to
them
get
get the
too into it, but
pregame
my
out of
character,
the
if you're
system.
familiar with this with the campaign, my character is related to Agdon and very much could have been recognized
we'll start
in this
that.
room. One of our players is a Hexblood, and so this hag was trying to basically turn our player. Moral of that story is one of our players perma'd because they ended up being turned into a hag, and it pissed off the
Ooh.
party so much. Like Cube's
Wow.
character was like frothing at the mouth. He's
Mm.
he's playing a sorcerer, but it very much like group protector support sort of character, and he watched all this happen and basically
Ooh.
watched the last glimmer and glimpse of this player leave and get like turned into this hag. So he used his pseudo
High
dragon
drama.
to telepathically tell everyone, like, reach out to everyone in the party and be like, we can't leave without doing anything about this. And so it's a room, it's like a hag. Well, there's 2 hags
Ooh.
now. There's 5 of us instead of 6 because we're down a party member, and a bunch of these little like bullywogs, I think they are, or something.
Yeah.
And so we all decide we're gonna attack. We get a surprise round, and we have a cleric of life cast silence. Cubed cast witch bolt. We have another rogue that cast witch bolt. We have another rogue that hit and did a sneak
Ooh.
attack. And then we had a barbarian that raged, and then my character is a Harengon ranger, and favored foe was Fae. So I had like all of my damage modifiers were checked, and I have extra attack.
Oh,
I
cool.
ended up critting. We had 2 crits in our surprise round, and in one round we one shot a hag. We straight up killed
Oh,
it before it
wow.
had the opportunity
What
to do
kind of
anything.
hag was it?
I don't know.
Is it like an anise or a green
Cube
or?
You'd be able to probably tell you. I know from that story there's a coven. Yeah, there's a specific coven,
Uh-huh.
and there's 3 hags that are kind of main baddies of the story. And
I
yeah,
found
it was
cool
just
stats on a Baba Yaga that I was gonna use against my family in their campaign. Really
Well,
cool stats
the parent of
for Baba
the
Yaga.
hags is Baba Yaga. That's what they told us.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But my character as she's been very protective of the party, and especially the original members. And basically from the start of the campaign, it was like we got to protect this other player. So
Oh wow. You
things
lost them.
kind of happened, and the TLDR of it is she got to watch all of that hard work from the first few sessions just get like it was all for nothing. And there was a conversation between my character and another one, like in pseudo dragon, so we kind of DMing each other back and forth, like it was this whole like guilt thing between the 2 of us because we were both trying to protect her, and it's like we can't protect anybody. Like we try and we try and we try, and we just keep failing. We keep losing people. We can't. Like, should we even keep trying to protect people at this point? Is us protecting people leading them into these situations? So it's like this whole like internal, just this internal drama and conflict between the party, just watching people go. So when she saw that character get turned into a hag, it was just like, fuck
Snap.
you.
Breaking point.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And she's
Love
typically
that.
a very calm, a very calculated character. She loves being creative and colorful, so she'll just decorate everything. And that was her
She's-
breaking point.
She's like, this is the voice of reason pretty much for the party, being like, none of us are leaving until that hag is dead.
That's lots of fun.
Is that the general tone of the campaign, that there's kind of this intensity and desperation and like moral like is it I guess my like is it we have comedic aspects to ours and kind of cute ones I've noticed. Is it more
I would
like on
say
the intense side or
that session's not like the campaign itself is very whimsical.
uh-huh.
And so there's a lot of like in
Whimsical with
the
dark undertone.
yeah, like
Yeah.
there's definitely serious things going on. But the episode just before that, we ended up saving a unicorn that had the persona of Elvis Presley
Or Johnny Bravo, depending on your...
or Johnny Bravo. Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Wait,
like
which
there's
game are you guys talking about?
It's another D&D
it was a
game.
D&D campaign, but
Oh,
it's based on one of the D&D books called Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
okay.
So it's like a
I'm writing this
pre-written
shit down.
campaign that the DM's homebrewing a couple
Ah.
things and adding some flavor to. But
But
They're
yeah.
great books to start with. Like, sorry, if you ever wanted to like do one with your family, I highly recommend grabbing like a starter campaign book as well as the Dungeon Master Guide. They're all really fun to do and easy
Oh,
enough to set up.
fun. Awesome, thanks.
But anywho, we digress. We have a campaign to get through.
We do.
Listeners, we hope you enjoyed that reminiscing on various campaigns. And thank you for your patronhood.
So,
Uh,
who would
good
like to do a recap?
customer service voice.
Yeah, really.
Make sure all tokens are 6. We're good.
Oh, let's see here. Recap. Okay. Okay,
Man,
so
brain-
we started up
Jeez, brain fog.
heading well, we were just about to head toward Lady Miriam's. We met up with Sari. We
There's that window.
We'd done some shopping and some this is and that's the one before. Then we all met up and we're heading to Lady Miriam. And was it then that we got no, I think it was the session before that. We got like paid by tomorrow, which none of us expected. But yeah, so we all gathered up and we started heading toward the main castle plaza.
Did the money go in the box, like for like the group funds kind of thing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I wasn't there for
I
that, so I was wondering how that
It was
Never mind.
in some kind of a pouch. I think we might have put it in the mimic.
yeah, I think
In the
I think
mimic,
Cozy put it
yeah.
in the mimic, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Let's see. So we went in. I'm trying to think if anything else happened before we went in.
The Lady
I
Miriam.
don't feel like anything of note, although I'm foggy on it. But anyway, we traversed through the castle of Lady Miriam, met up with the cool piano player and a tiny displacer beast, which was sitting on the piano that he was playing. We met up with a few of the denizens of the castle who roam the halls, like Shit Pickle, and sorry, he always
That
reminds me of
fucking
Shit Pickle.
pickle.
The brooding pickle humanoid
Pickle
creature.
dick.
Who unfortunately, despite all of our attempts to be politically correct, we seem to just insult and stereotype and poke fun at every time we see it. We continued through the castle, got into the presence of the retainer of Lady Miriam, who led us into the main hall where Lady Miriam was, and we began our discussion, where we switched into a secret sort of demi-plane that she created out of her throne room, and we began our discussion about all the various bits and bobs we'd collected from the dungeon, about our various ideas of what we're planning to do next, about Marn, about the jars with the creepy gibbering mouths in them, about what that was, which apparently is some kind of infinite abyssal creature that has infinite billions of mouths in another dimension, and these were parts of it. We discover that Opal loves rock candy somewhere in there. Um, Kozik and Lady Miriam and her daughter, I forgot the daughter's name, Rosa? Was that it?
Rosa.
They had a very intense interaction when Kozik was very honestly describing who his patron was. And Lady Miriam was very cool about it. Described how she had kind of tussled with the Queen of Air and Darkness, and I think intimated that she had overcome her or wrestled her or defeated her in some way, or maybe was part of her defeat, something like that, which was very intriguing. Rosa and Sari had an interesting interaction where it seemed like Sari was having this strong a sense of wanting to understand Rosa more, and Rosa was very standoffish about that. We handed over the journal which Cha had collected from the dungeon and shown to the beholder at the magic shop. And apparently it was a vast and very intricate, complex magical tome about creating various magical effects that were incredibly complex and difficult to pull off, if they could even be pulled off. She made it clear to us that it was too dangerous to hold on to ourselves and it could fall into the wrong hands. So we offered it to her to hold on to and potentially to use, hopefully to her kingdom's benefit and to our benefit possibly, as a protection against like the creatures that we found in the dungeon. She told us about the jars. We handed over the rod. And I think that was about it. She didn't really give us anything. She didn't give us anything physical, I don't think. She just kind of was. It's like we just sort of turned in our whole quest and kind of discussed it and described that we might be going off on some other adventures, and that was okay. She communicated with us about Marn. She told us that she did locate him, but that he was slippery, and that he does seem to be in the place where Kozik and Zed were kidnapped away to, but they don't exactly know where that is yet. But it did seem like a stationary, solid place that was in a specific place, which leads me to believe even more so that that dungeon had nothing to do with Marn, was just a total mindfuck, and we were having images of Marn projected into our heads, which then were projected out onto things like that bust that we saw his face on, that Rain saw his face on, and the journal which talked about him, I think, and would explain why statues were moving and we were seeing weird shapes and hearing strange voices. It was all gathered from our own memories, which was eerie. But that dungeon is still like a big mystery for all of us. It's like, and then where the hell did it go? What was its purpose? Who was the real lord of it? We don't even know. Big mystery still. Even to Lady Miriam, she didn't
maybe
really understand
forever.
it either. Maybe forever. I think we're all satisfied we went back, though. And yeah, Kozik shared openly about the magic being sucked into his body when he defeated those creatures, which was intriguing. He's holding nothing back from Lady Miriam, which is fascinating to watch because of the political intricacies of his patron being like a definitively Seelie kind of creature, or unseelie.
Unseelie, yeah.
And then we all decided to kind of check out our options for the future, which were some quests from the Adventurers Guild, thinking about going back to the material plane, maybe going on a traveling stint, sticking around, we're not sure yet. But we did decide to destroy the gibbering mouths in the jars and had an epic finale showdown where we blasted the absolute shit out of it. All of us using our grandest spells and abilities to blow the hell out of a stationary box sitting on a log.
That was fun.
That's where we left off.
That was really fun.
It was fun.
So, I suppose you can give yourself an inspiration, I guess.
It was worthy. I'll go ahead and take that one this time. What the heck?
I guess. So, the real question now that things have settled, debts have been settled, payments have been received, there's still a couple of lingering tasks. Let's see, I think somebody was going to try and talk to somebody.
Oh, that's right. The dragon at the magic shop has knowledge of airships that could be astral airships that might be a way for us to find Zed's crew in the astral plane and reach the astral plane, which seems to have something to do with not only Zed's quest but also Cha's, should Cha decide that he wants to move forward with that quest having to do with his key.
Wait, would you repeat what you just said, Cha, about your what part with you with the key?
I don't think Sari knows anything about that yet, actually. Let's see if it comes out naturally.
Okay.
So, as before, it's a lively day in Zareth. The comings and goings of varying degrees of peoples and creature, fill the walls with excitement and, to some degree, mercantile, but mostly excitement and laughter and conversation. It's pretty busy. And you guys are just kind of left to figure out what it is you want to do. Like, nobody's running up to you and asking for anything. There's nothing impeding you from doing whatever. You're just kind of finally not on a timetable, not under duress. Just sort of, at last, a breath of freedom and fresh air.
Ah,
Well, weren't we discussing last time about potentially taking on one of those jobs we got?
right. But let's have some chocolate milk first. On me. So,
Put my water. There it
suppose
is.
we could walk and talk back to the Lofty Highborn, unless anybody wanted to go anywhere else.
Oh yeah, does anybody have anywhere else they want to go?
What was that one tavern that we can't go back to the one where we had the brawl, I suppose, but maybe somewhere
Of course you
else.
I got the
can.
impression that they were totally fine with brawls. The owners of that place were totally
Yeah, did we pay
okay
him
with
off
it.
for all the damage we did? Did we give him some?
See, I think they just take it as part of their business expense.
Really? You think so? I think we owe him some money.
It seemed like it. Everybody was cool. It was almost like that's maybe the draw for the customers, so they make more money allowing things to be destroyed than if they didn't. Say draw a bigger crowd. It's part of their business plan.
Does anyone remember the name of that place?
Oh,
Yeah.
That was a flying horse, wasn't it? Or that was it had some sort of weird name that I didn't understand.
The flaming horse.
a flaming horse.
That was the other one, I thought.
Oh, that was the one that
There
we got
were
into the
3
bar
of
fight
them,
at.
huh?
Then there was
Yeah,
the tavern that you got the banana from.
That's the one I was thinking of that I don't understand.
I
But
think.
let's go see if we can have some chocolate milk and spike it with something, maybe. And let's
Ooh.
go back to that. Let's go back to that place that. Oh, we had that good brawling.
Wonder if they have
What'd you think?
coffee in this world. It is a big hit in hell, let me tell you. People love being jacked in hell. I wonder if it spread to this plane or any of the others.
Well, I haven't seen it myself, but we've definitely got chocolate.
Okay. So as we're walking, Cha would like to walk up next to Opal and just be like, Opal, you like tinkering with stuff, right?
Of course. What?
But like
Do you need something tinkered
magically.
with?
Well,
Yes.
Cha pulls out his quarterstaff, which is kind of like it's like it has a black lacquer on it with sort of a golden ivy filigree carved into it. It's quite ornate and lovely, but also, dark and ominous. He's like, I love this staff. I've had it for years. I've always wondered if it could be imbued with like a magical energy to make it more badass.
Okay, before I respond, can I even do that at my level?
Adding filigree?
No. He's asking if it can be made more powerful, basically.
I mean, you have infusions.
This is true. Hmm.
Specifically, I was
is
wondering if I could like make it burst into magical flames and then smash things with fire damage. To kind of go with my hell theme. Even though I'm sort of anti-hell, I'm also still of hell, and there's the difficult psychological combination of those dichotomous, things. But still, it would be so cool, right? Like, it burst into flame, and I'm like, yeah! And he's acting all this out in front of you of like, flames, magical flames pouring off of his staff, and he's casting minor illusion to actually show exactly what he means on his staff with like blue or purple or
Hmm.
like, black flames coming off of it that might do fire damage to his enemies.
Opal like scratches her chin for a second. I'm not sure I can do that at the moment, but I can see what I can do because I kind of forgot to take more infusions when I leveled up, like a fool. Right now I don't think I can enhance your melee weapons. If you have a ranged weapon, I can do something about that.
I do, but it's already kind of magical. Basically, Cha like holds his left fist up, and the fist suddenly effuses with this purplish, like force-like field around it. He's like, the really profound vision, and I realized that my fists are magical now.
Oh.
Huh.
It was
That is
amazing.
really cool.
I have this, my mentor Morgorod, he told me that I would have these sorts of developments in my practice, but I wasn't quite there yet. He taught me the techniques of how to do them. I've been practicing them for a long time, but I feel like I had a breakthrough. And he looks at his fists, and they're like just beaming with this purplish dark energy. Like I can feel it in my fists. And I was just like, maybe my staff could be cool too, like that. Nice and magical.
Give me a second to check
So,
something.
give me a
Okay.
perception check.
You got it.
Right. 6th level. Get 6 infusions.
Okay.
I only have 5 right now. Oh no.
Continue.
He's too involved
Nice.
in.
Well, actually,
Nice.
Opal could
describing
also
what he
give me a
wants to.
perception because Cha is talking to
Oh, yeah,
you.
sure.
Doesn't matter that I'm.
Oh,
I knew that was
Nice.
gonna happen. I knew it.
Perfect. I was
It's
Nice.
one of Cha's flaws that he's
I was-
not perceptive.
I was waiting for somebody to
Sweat.
waste their natural 20. Anyway,
Oh.
Totally.
so
yeah.
as Cha holds his fist up and, conveys the energy around his fist, there
Mhm.
is, as an artificer, like you're probably analyzing it from a more scientific perspective, like maybe wavelengths and such. You've
Mhm.
seen magic, but you're also like, how does this work? Because if you imitate magic, you kind of need to understand, how it works, how it flows, what is this type of energy that's being used. And with your natural 20, as he's holding his hand up and conveying like this bits, this energy, this like purplish hued energy around his fist, there's something unnatural about it. Like there's almost like you're looking at somebody holding up a cup, but there's an unusual ripple effect. Just barely noticeable. Almost imagine seeing a ripple in a shadow. It's that kind of observation.
Cha, can I see your hand?
Yes. Cha
Uh,
holds his hand out, the palm up.
Opal will just kind of grab it and like look at it really quickly. Could I do an Arcana check on this hand?
You sure
you do
could.
palmistry? Oh, I'd love you to
I
tell me my
don't do
fortune
palm
line.
reading.
Is there anything about my nightclub in there?
See, that's even better than your nat 20, technically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
So, oh shit! I just
My
caught
love
my bite
life?
here.
It's really smoking, isn't it? It's like super long. It's like that's the
This
love line,
right,
right?
this line right here tells me that if you don't stop talking right now, you'll never find love again.
Shit. He 100% believes you and just totally tight-lipped.
In any case, what does Opal see in Cha's magic?
His eyes are huge.
I was thinking of DMing it to you, but I could say it out loud. So you get the feeling that there are two different types of sources of energy flowing through him. Very much one being his own, and very much one not. It seems very foreign, which is probably why the wavelengths kind of don't seem to line up perfectly. And let's see, with the 25, you could definitely ascertain. I'm trying to think what you would know on something else, which would link to this. Yeah, you wouldn't know that. So yeah, it's there's some underlying energy that's feeding into this, but it's very subtle. Even though, I mean, considering your roles, it's pretty blatantly obvious. But you could definitely see how somebody could miss it, especially if, they weren't aware of it. And it is almost a little concerning, probably, because it's like, where is this coming from? And why is it flowing through him? And why is it having this effect that he is completely and utterly unaware of? I mean, obviously, he's unaware of it. So, for inquiring minds, there's something going on in the underneath the hood.
Weird question, Cha. You haven't made any weird deals with, like, gods or devils or something, right?
Talk now?
What was your...
I can talk now?
Yes, you can talk now.
Okay.
I don't read hands, Chad. I look at magic and I inspect.
Oh,
I'm messing with you.
you were screwing with. Okay.
Don't worry,
Let's
you'll have a
see.
nice,
Weird
wonderful life.
deals. Aw, shucks. Thanks. You too. You're part of it. And Chalk kind of thinks back to all kinds of interactions over his whole life. As far as I can tell, I don't believe I have. I mean, I
Hmm.
certainly am. I was out, and he kind of looks around. It's like I was a member of the Shadow Reapers, and we were a bunch of bad motherfuckers. Let me tell you. And I learned a lot of interesting and wild stuff with them, which I still am developing.
Hmm. Something's weird about the magic coming off of you.
Yeah?
Some of it is yours, don't get me wrong. But there's also a part of it that isn't. And it's not exactly. It's not affecting you from what I can directly tell, but it's not meshing with your magic. It's causing it to look just a bit strange.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was born with some abilities. Others I developed as I got older. But then I learned several interesting magical and key infused abilities from my mentor, our team. Maybe that's it.
It could be. We'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
But write that down somewhere. Let's not forget about it.
Sure. I'll write it in blood. Just kidding. I won't do that again.
Not a
Also,
good idea.
in any case, for what I could do for your weapon, at least right now, I can make it a radiant weapon.
Ooh, really?
Yep.
That is dichotomous.
How would that change the staff? How would Radiant? Sorry,
Uh,
OC.
The details of radiant weapon. This magic weapon grants a +1 to bonus to attack and damage rolls. While wielding it, the wielder can take a bonus action to cause it to shed bright light in a 30-foot radius
Nice.
and dim light for an additional 30 feet. And the wielder can extinguish it as a bonus action. Aside from that,
really?
it has 4
Cool.
charges, which, as a
Okay.
reaction, can, after being hit by an attack, the wielder can expend 1 charge and cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of their next turn.
Wow, that's
Bitchin'.
cool.
I thought that was a pretty cool infusion I could slap on your staff if you wanted it.
Oh my goodness, it's like a dream come true. I had no idea.
We'll work on the black flames part later.
Okay, I mean that's just for a fact. But wow, that's bitchin'.
I've never been very good with just purely cosmetic magic.
Cool. That's what I'm really good at.
Now the practical kind. Alrighty, how much time would I need to do that, or to alter Chaw's staff?
I think it tells.
Oh wait,
you.
right. Let me check.
That should be on your sheet there. No.
And while
I
you're
need
looking
to
into
edit my
that,
sheet. Oh yeah.
What would other people like to do?
Yeah.
Kozik, Zed, Sari, Niavara.
I want to go find out about the sky ships, the moon ships. At some point. I guess that's going back to the magic shop.
Yep, the glimmering scales.
That seems like a
Yeah,
good
that's-
idea.
That's definitely on Zed's mind as well.
Mm-hmm. I think
But yeah,
Niavara
maybe
is chill with going to see that. She's mostly just sort of turning things over in her head quietly. But like, if
Yes.
someone were to suggest like going to Magic Shop, she'd be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Sounds like a
Yeah,
good
that's-
game.
kind of where Sari's at. But she does want to ask Niavar, how you been feeling since you've let go of that rod? How have things changed for you?
I mean,
Because
like,
you were carrying that for quite a while, weren't you?
I mean, yes. Does Niavar notice any changes in herself? Like, if she does like a quick little mental check up and down? I mean, apart from me being a little bit more blue than usual, and she sort of
Oh,
winks one eye.
I mean, she doesn't seem like anything's different.
Yeah, it needed to be activated, like, by feeding it something. I guess you can think of it, I was sticking my hand in a cage with the tiger.
oh, is that all?
I mean, yeah, just.
Well, I was just wondering because when you carry around a magical, a magical instrument like that, sometimes it can have quite an effect on you. So I was just
Oh,
wondering how you're feeling.
none that I've noticed, certainly.
Well, that's good.
See, it might just be that my general irritation with the Fey realm is just too much for me to get over. However, I shall endeavor to survive.
Well, you look like you're doing a good job of it, so carry on.
And she sort of nods and she's like, all right, so barring that, Kozik, you mentioned something about going to a magic shop? Because you wanted to go find out about the astral sea stuff, I guess?
Yes, it seems like it's a fitting mission for us beyond becoming mercenaries, don't you think?
And she's sort of thinking about it, and she's like, you know what? Going to the astral sea will get me out of the Feywild, so, like, let's go ahead.
So are we deciding then as a group about we're trying to find out about this how to get there, or if what are we after right now? I'm sorry, I like direction.
I mean, I knew that you were sorry. Fail to see how this applies. So no, what I do understand from everything, Zedrin, and you can correct me here if I'm wrong, is that it seems to me that prior to somewhere a point wherein Zedrin's memories fail him, he and his men, or more accurately his captain's men, Captain Father? I don't know. Captain Father's men were in the astral sea and
Good
like has
question.
seen visions relating to a bigger stranger ship coming upon them and stalling them. And you know what? I have enough information to say like that probably directly has to do with like how the fuck a man like him ended up in the Underdark just like randomly. Cha! And she sort of looks behind her to like where Cha and Opal are, and she's like, that tracks. I could totally see someone like him ending up in the Underdark. That happens all the time. Someone bright, young, optimistic, happy-go-lucky, thinking highly of their own skills and ability. Oh yeah, you're gonna get captured by the drow. Oh, what were you doing down here? I just thought I could do stuff on my own. Haha. That's how you end up in a cage. Either with the Drieger or with us. You're Beck. You're being. I think that the astral plane holds answers for Zedrin specifically, holds answers as to Marn's true identity, whatever he is. And most of all, it will get me out of this fucking hellscape.
So speaking of the Underdark, and given what Lady Miriam was saying about that old devouring maw, I'm
Mhm.
realizing that we'd run into something like that a few times now. Remember when we were underwater in that cave in the Underdark, and that weird sort of like tentacly beast came through what was like a tear in the dimension almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then while we were in those ruins, the room that we found the rod in, the center of that room had like some sort of, it was almost like a funnel that was trying to draw magical energy.
Mm. And we could even say that, technically speaking, even how if things in that area were reacting to us in general, I don't know if anyone else saw it, but there were hands all over the place, like trying to drag us down. Now,
Right.
from a religious point of view, I will just say it is well known in my religion that the devourer will get his due. He will take and take what he can get. And if you do not give, he will take. Point being, I just don't like the devourer in general. But I hear your point that, like, I don't know what it is, though. I agree with you that it is strange that we keep encountering these vessels for him. But I don't know what they mean. I guess I could think about, like, if they're, like, connected, but I don't necessarily think so. And I'm not particularly arcanely talented. And then she sort of glances to Kozik. That would be our warlock's position.
Oh, I'm flattered. Thank you.
Well, yes, you're a warlock. The arcane is supposed to be your deal. The arcane, the occult, the magical. I could deal with the religious side of things all day.
Well, it's nice to be recognized sometimes, at any rate.
Point being, what do you make of these? The fact that we've now seen the tentacles, the maw, and I guess we could say the throat of some great beast.
Is it some form of clairvoyance or coincidence in the universe?
I'm asking your
Maybe
opinion.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's something of the shape of things to come. I hope not. Seems like
Oh.
quite a creature to have to vanquish, but I think we can do it.
Where did you see these parts of the beast?
Well, the maw is the giant mouth that was in the dream. What Zedrin is referring to is back when we were in the Underdark, one of the things that we were escaping from, temporarily speaking, was that we were in a cave. And we had gone into this cave because, fuck, I forget why. This wasn't when we were in the Underdark. We were already in the material plane. We were investigating something on behalf of Miss Tia Moonblade, I believe. Or we were looking for her.
We'd gone inside a gigantic mimic building.
Correct.
On
And
her,
at the
on her
bottom of
land.
that, there was a cave with the big lake in the bottom. We were investigating something in the water when we got pulled in.
We still have the mushrooms.
That we do. There was some weird magic in that place too. I transformed into a tiefling. That was quite the thing.
Where did you get pulled to? When you're in this cave in the lake? Where did you get pulled to?
We didn't get pulled anywhere. We were able to get dragged out.
Ah,
Veldrin
okay.
rescued us, thankfully. But that's what Zedrin's referring to when he's talking about that incident. We didn't fight anything there.
But is that where you met the tentacles? Where did you see the tentacles?
In the lake, that's what was dragging
Oh,
us.
that's what was dragging you. All right.
Mhm.
Thanks. Well, you folks have had quite the adventure.
I mean, and she shrugs. We're currently standing in the middle of the Feywild. For most mortals, that's already, pretty substantially adventurous.
Right. Well, I guess since it's my home, I haven't. Right. Yeah.
And Neovar shudders like, ugh. Much rather get to the astral. Like, I will deal with Githyanki and, like, these illithids, and she puts up little quotation marks around them. They don't seem that scary. They're just tentacles. I love calamari.
It's Tentacle
Kinda
Tuesday, you
sums that.
guys. Every Tuesday we encounter tentacles. Did you notice that? It's Tentacle Tuesday.
Oh, and Ja. Ja,
Yeah.
I can infuse your weapon. I only need to touch it. You will
Really?
need to attune to your weapon, though.
Oh, so cool! Gosh, I thought this is something down the road, or if we found a workshop or something, you just touch it.
I looked at infused items. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch a non-magical item and imbue it with one of your artificer infusions, turning it into a magical item.
Wow.
That's epic. You know,
And yes, I
can
will
you
do
do that
that.
like whenever you want?
Not whenever I want. I need to get rest before I can do it again.
And mind you, you
Just
can
do
only
that,
be
like-
attuned to 3 items.
I am only
Right.
attuned to 2
Yeah, I'm just saying for everybody to
in the
The
future.
know.
job. Wait, so is the
Oh,
weapon
just a
then,
total of
does it
3.
need to be attuned? It needs to be attuned.
Yeah, you need to attune to this weapon if I put this on it. Are you
Okay,
attuned
I see.
to anything
wait,
else?
Opal can only be attuned, or
Yes.
each person can only be attuned to 3?
Oh, I thought he was telling me. I thought
I'm
he was
wondering.
telling me
Each
I could only
person
have
can
3
only be
infusions.
attuned.
Or yeah, sorry.
Each person can be attuned to 3 items at a time. only.
Magically attuned, you're
Yes,
saying?
if they
Okay.
require attunement. Many weapons and armors so don't require attunement, but the ones
Okay.
that do are stronger. They have like stronger effects and stuff, and they need to be
Okay.
attuned to. So yeah,
Okay.
right now Cha is attuned to 3 items, but he would unattune from one of them to do this. But first he's gonna ask. He's like, so can you? So I asked you to do this, but how many times can you do it? Like total? Like every day for every one of us? We'd all have magical weapons?
I can do this once per day. Unfortunately, I can't exactly you just use it over and over again.
Oh, so you have to do it every single day.
Yes.
Once a day is not bad. We could get quite a few,
Yeah, how many
magicked up.
times can you do it in one day?
Just
Just
once, eh?
once?
Just once.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. So it's not
Essentially,
permanent.
whenever we go to sleep for the night, very next day, I'll be able to do it again.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, we should get our weapons magicked up over time then. It's a good
That
idea.
and something interesting I also picked up recently was the ability to replicate magic items.
What?
So OOC though, you can only have 3 attunements, or not attunements, 3
Infusions.
infusions
That's what I
active
remember.
at one time.
Which
Active at
Oh.
one
is
time. So that was my question. So once you create the item, it stays that way. Like I don't think you have to do it every day.
Essentially,
Mhm.
from
you're
what
right,
I've
Josh.
read about how the infusion replicate magic item works, you can pick it up multiple times, but anytime you replicate a magic item with it, it vanishes. Or not the item, but the infusion until you get more.
And so then the same with the weapon.
I'm
though,
not,
like,
or
if you
that
attune
infusion
his
is set to
staff-
that item.
So
Right. So you
infusing
could attune it.
an item. I'll
Yeah.
read the excerpt. Your infusion remains on in an item indefinitely, but when you die, the infusion vanishes after a number of days have passed equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1. The infusion also vanishes if you give up your knowledge of the infusion for another one. You can infuse more than one non-magical object at the end of a long rest. The maximum number is, in the column for your artificer. You must touch the objects, blah, 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 blah. So once you infuse something, it stays indefinitely unless you
Until you
change
die.
the infusion, unless you die or you
Give up the
actively have to do,
information.
yeah. So
Gotcha.
it's
And you
on
would
it.
give it up so that you would have that
So you
space
could have
for
more
something else.
infusions.
Yeah. Okay.
So wait,
You
So
only
what?
have
John,
three.
do
What
you
number
want
do you have? What number do you have, Opal? How many infused
many-
items can you have?
Level 6.
I can have
You have-
3 infused items at level 6.
Ah, okay.
Gotcha.
I only have 2 at the moment, and I'm thinking of changing one of them.
But if you
so
infuse an item for Cha, then all 3 of your things would be used up, right?
I have no
Yeah.
issue with that.
One infusion would be used up. Oh, you
No, he
said
said
you
he already had-
infused
He said
another
he already
thing.
had 2.
So
you would have
basically-
an additional infusion.
Here, I'll break it
left.
down. So basically, whatever he infuses, he can only have 3 active at a time. So he
Right.
would be dedicating that
She,
Third slot
she.
to somebody
Opal,
else.
she.
Gotcha. So Chaz, if she explains that to him, Cha would be like, okay, so, and then he looks at the rest of his party and he's like, okay, everybody has some cool magic and this and that, but not everybody has magical weapons. So
Or
I think
items.
maybe, or items like armor. You can make magic armor too, right?
Yes.
So Cha's gonna like look at his freaking awesome armor and his badass arcane crossbow bolt, you know, at his glowing fists, and be like, maybe you should do it for some of our other members who don't have as much magic stuff going on for them.
This is fair enough. When I learned how to make magic items more reliably, I think we can get back to the idea.
Yeah, okay, that's all.
I just
Thanks,
imagine like Cha standing there in like gold full plate armor, like a shining halberd with like the symbol of like 13 dragons on it, and like dangling at his side is like a shiny mace of like the symbol of like Pelor on it. And then he looks over to the party and they're on like rags.
Yeah.
They've got like leather armor on.
Hmm. Aside from myself, who has the least amount of magic items?
None of my items are
Yeah, I
are
don't know if
magic
Zari has
except for
any
the
right now.
amulet I've got, but no, I've not got any magic items.
Hey, sorry, do you want the radiant weapon?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
That's a good idea, and you're a paladin, so it kind of goes with your shtickla.
I'd love a radiant weapon.
Alrighty. What weapon
That's
do you
so
want?
lovely. Well, I imagine either my my long sword or my short sword would be a good
Gotcha.
choice.
Which
How about
one
my
do you
short
use more
sword?
often?
Well, I use the long sword, but that's already silvered, so it does have the ability to like
Stack the effects.
cut into undead creatures and whatnot like a regular blade can't. So the
Got too
short
close.
sword doesn't have any help. How about the short sword?
Hmm.
So, Opal, give me an arcana.
Oh. Yeah, you got it, boss. That's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's a 17. Could be worse.
So, what Sari is explaining does not inherently make, and this is just through your studies and your knowledge of magical items and sort of how to craft them and how the magic works, how infusions work, and just kind of how the ebb and flow of magic actually functions. What Sari is explaining, you know, things being silvered
Yeah,
does
that's
not
not magic.
innately make
Not
the
magic.
item magical,
Yeah, it's
which
not really-
if you
Yeah,
think
just
about the
affects
fight with the undead you had before, her weapons were doing just about as much damage as anybody else's for the most part that didn't have dedicated
Well, when you
magic
read-
items.
But when you read about the silver items, it says that certain undead creatures or something like that can will be affected by them, whereas regular items won't affect them, or something like that. It's in the
list,
handbook.
yes, that list is
Yeah.
extremely small. 99% of undead, like, because
Which is really
because
unfortunate.
because
Oh,
under
If
okay.
we were like in a vampire campaign, it would be kick ass, right?
Oh,
It's-
they
it's
made it
not-
in the play. It sounded cool in the book. I thought it was
Well,
a thing.
it's still
so.
cool, but
It
we're,
is
we're
still
like
cool.
not
Hold on,
specifically
hold
an
on, hold on.
undead campaign.
Well, let's do
It's
let's do the longsword then.
Yeah, it's not magical, so it can still
No,
be
not
made
magical.
into a magical
It
weapon.
can, yeah, so it
Yes.
can be
So
silver
you would
and
get
Let's
magical.
do the
both of those
longsword. Yeah,
benefits.
Yeah,
the
cool.
longsword would be best, and that's the one I use the most.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
well,
that's
it was
good.
mostly translating a terminology and how that translates into mechanics kind of thing. Because silver doesn't inherently make it better, even against undead. Because under stats for monsters, it'll say like vulnerabilities versus so and so, or like a lot of monsters will have a very specific vulnerability or something. So yeah,
Alrighty.
I just didn't want her to get her hopes up, and like just because it's undead and you have a silvered weapon that necessarily indicates that you're gonna have an advantage, and
Though if we
most of
do
the time it
come
doesn't.
across a vampire or a werewolf, who knows?
I
Alrighty.
gotta look that up. It said, but yeah, I would love that. That'd be great, Opal.
Infuse item, radiant weapon. On Sari's
Sweet.
longsword.
Yeah.
Alright. How would we apply radiant weapon to Sari's weapon so she can see that constantly? Because I know I can apply it in character, but applying it to her
You can
actual sword.
edit the weapon. I haven't done this in
Alright.
the new layout, but if you go to your inventory and you hit those 3 dots,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
you can edit the weapon, and
Right.
in that it should allow you to not only change the name of it, but in the details you can add a +1 to the attack roll bonus, which is what you would inherently be getting by using that. And then the other things as far as like the
Radiant
charges
damage.
and blinding and stuff like that, I would just like manually type that into the description.
Mm-hmm. Got that,
Okay,
Sari?
so I've got it. I went in and I've named it. It's a silvered longsword. When I go to the details, it just says unidentified. You must identify this item to learn
Yeah, I
its
saw that too.
details. And
Oh, that's
So
weird.
the unidentified thing makes it impossible to change its stats.
yeah.
Maybe if you there's a
well,
little
at the
button
top
though
right.
at the
Oh
top
wait,
that
under
says
attack with one?
unidentified.
Yeah, at the top right where it
Oh,
says
Yeah.
there you
weapon
go.
equipped and identified, you should
Okay, right,
just
there we
check
go.
the identified thing. Yeah.
Okay, I just hit
then you can
identify.
alter it.
So then
Then you can add
description. Okay.
And then in
there's
the
all
in the
kinds of stuff. You can
properties,
even put the
yeah. In the properties,
put
I would
what it does.
select magical because it's now technically a magical weapon.
Okay,
And
wait,
then
I named so hang on in the properties.
like
got
under
details.
details.
Under details.
Okay, now I can go to now I can go to okay. There we go.
If you see all the check boxes,
Oh,
Yep.
and you said it had to be attuned, so you'd want to put attunement required.
Yeah.
Okay, attunement required.
Are proficient.
and then
Magical, silvered. If it's not silver, if it doesn't already have that checked, you should put that because it
yeah,
is a
check that as
silvered
well.
weapon.
Here's magical, here's silvered. Okay, cool.
So that'll apply anytime those have an effect. So you're silvered, for instance, if you have it checked,
Right.
if it
Right,
affects
just check
something,
that.
it will automatically apply it.
Oh, that's cool because we didn't have that
Yeah.
happening before.
Because it's going off of like the official like rules and things like that. And then if you scroll down to your weapon attack, your attack roll bonus should have +1.
Hey, I do not have that. So add a 1.
Yeah, like
add +1.
manually add
Okay.
a +1 in there.
Oh, put +1, not just 1.
Yeah.
+1. Okay.
Because when you attack with this weapon now, as long as it is still infused, it will permanently have an easier time hitting.
Okay,
even if
cool.
slightly.
You could need to add +1 also to the damage formula.
Oh yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
damage
Attack
and
and damage.
attack. So where
Let's
it
see,
has
where's
the
the
damage
damage
formula, it
formula?
says 1d8 plus
Slightly
uh
under that.
at mod.
I
and
see
then I'm
that, yeah.
thinking, what do you have to do? Just put a +1 after that, and I think that'll
Yes,
do it.
okay.
The way that mine is
I did
1d8
that.
+1 plus at mod.
+1
Oh, okay.
plus at mod.
So do it in that space. Okay.
Cool.
1d8
And then the rest should be totally
plus
is all set.
1
Yeah,
plus at
should be.
mod.
After that should be good.
Okay, sweet. And then I guess it's just automatically activated now that I've just done all those things.
Yeah, you won't have to like save it.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it. It'll just
Oh yeah.
happen.
The funny thing about that
But the
blinded
charges,
or
you
that
do need-
blinding
you need
feature.
to keep track of the charges.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. The funny thing about that blinded feature, there's no save. They are just blinded.
Yeah, that's
Really?
insane.
Wow,
dude.
that's incredible.
Oh, unless they succeed. Goddamn.
Oh, there is a
unless-
save.
It
Okay.
So
is.
I
Oh,
can
Constitution saving throw, okay.
I have this light that comes off of it. I can blind somebody with it, and
With
I get a
four-
plus
so you have 4
one.
charges, and then is that like every day? Like when do they come back? Every day, or
Yeah, it
after a
says the
long
weapon
rest?
regains 1d4 expended
I'll be right
charges
back.
daily at dawn.
Oh, 1d4.
So you
so
you roll a d4 and see
it'll
how many
roll the
charges you get.
d4.
I need to
Gotcha.
keep this radiant weapon information near my longsword. It's-
Yeah,
can-
so
it
if
can
you
go in
if you
there as
copy
well.
copy and paste what Opal posted. Oh, I don't know if you can.
Oh, on here.
Oh, you can.
Is it-
If you right click the radiant weapon that he posted, you should be able
Uh-huh.
to pop that message out. And well,
Oh,
no, you still
cool.
can't copy and paste
No,
it.
nothing's happening
Can't
on the right
copy.
click.
Shucks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hmm.
Maybe a screenshot, just so you have it.
yeah.
You could take a screenshot of it and then have that on
Well,
your
I'm gonna just
desktop.
write in there under detail radiant weapon, and then I'll be able to look that up when I need to. I'll be reminded that
Yeah, there you go.
that
Be
it's a
careful,
radiant
Fire.
weapon.
You're posting it.
Oh, so sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was
It's okay.
I was
I did that too.
pressing the
earlier when
wrong
was
thing. I meant to
looking at
press
stuff.
the
They're
3
learning.
dots in the edit thing. Sorry about that.
So it is pretty specific with the blinded thing. You have to use your reaction, and that's
Oh, it's a
immediately after
reaction.
being hit. So you can't just blind anyone at any time. But the light aspect of it, you can activate and deactivate seemingly at a moment's notice.
As a bonus action. Yeah.
Okay. But I can blind someone right after being hit.
Mhm.
Right. So
But it's a reaction. So
reaction.
you'd get one of those per round.
Right.
So
okay.
if you don't want to use if you have other things that are used as a reaction, you wouldn't be able to use it then if you did this.
Right.
That's
Okay.
just
I
good to
see.
know as far as your
Mhm.
action economy goes. You would want to
Okay, I
know
see.
like what things you can do as a reaction. Because one thing would mean that if there's an enemy in your, right up in melee with you, if they run away, you no longer can do an attack of opportunity because you used that reaction already. Because
Okay.
that's a
Okay.
reaction.
Gotcha. Okay. And the attack of opportunity is also a reaction.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, so just for clarification too, because I don't think I've ever had to attune to anything. Attunement just takes an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Typically,
you
yep.
meditate on
Okay.
it.
Alrighty. Well, with the mechanics aside,
Thanks,
That was
guys,
fun.
for your help.
Absolutely. That's huge too. I
thing
think that's
is-
gonna be awesome.
Yeah. What else
Yeah,
can you
very
do
cool.
with your infusions, Opal? So you can make cool weapon stuff. What else? You can replicate items?
I think Opal said they had the BRB.
Oh, gotcha.
So where were y'all heading?
Heading to the magic shop, I believe. We'll get chocolate milk later. People want some action.
Very well. You make your way through Zareth, beyond the bazaar, beyond the chattering, beyond the lingering gazes of varying strangers, and you make your way to that very bright and vibrant, colorful signs, floating neon lights, the glistening scales.
Glistening
Okay, before we
scale.
go in, Shaw's gonna look at everybody seriously and be like, listen, you guys, we have come in here like 4 times and bought like one thing. I just don't know how much we've never given anything very much to these people. So maybe we should offer them something for helping us learn about the astral.
Well, Zedran
Or
made a deal
something?
with these guys, didn't he?
And still gave them nothing.
Oh, we've got to buy something from these guys. We've got to buy something.
Right. I mean, something, a tchotchke, anything.
Damn it! I just coughed and
I'm just saying they've been very helpful. We want to try to do something for them.
Well, he did say that they got new things in store. Just last time
Yeah,
we were
let's
here,
look at that.
but we weren't really looking around. We were just kind of showing him the book. So,
Right.
right.
Um,
Zed, would you like to lead the way on that? Do you want to ask about, or
Oh, yeah.
astral? Your call. Okay. Which one you gonna say? Sorry.
I'm just trying to get to. I was trying to get to the equipment shop on this new platform, but I can't. I try to open it, but it's empty
for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
for
Not
a
sure- not-
reason.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Well, if we're going shopping, I want to be able to.
Are you having a waking dream?
Right, that's it. All right, out of character. I wanted to look in the equipment shop to see if there's something I wanted to buy at the magic shop, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And
Because
Cube
not
just said that
everything,
for a reason.
because not everything that is
Right.
available that you can see are things that are in the shops.
I get that part, but how come I can't get to the equipment list? It's just nothing's there.
In your equipment list, or are you trying to look
When
at?
when I go and I'm in my sorry thing, and I hit the 3 dots and I go equipment shop, it's just nothing
Equipment
there.
shop. Are you
The
trying
way
to
we
look at
used
your
to
own
be able-
equipment?
No, where you go
I
into
see
the
what you're
shop
looking
to
for.
see like you want to upgrade your armor, or you're gonna buy this or that.
So technically,
I don't
that's stuff you guys
remember
wouldn't
that.
even be looking at, because, like I said, what's available in the shops is
Oh, you mean the compendium? You're talking about the
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
compendium?
It's the same place that we went in our other in the other tabletop version we were on, but we could go and just like, because I had bought some different armor and it didn't transfer over to this, and so I wanted to correct that, but there's no shop there anymore. There's no equipment list anymore.
well, I mean, at the end of the day, still, talk to the DM about what you're trying to get, because technically, you guys shouldn't even be worrying about like the equipment stuff unless it's something you wanted, right? Like, because then you'd say, I would like
she's
to
saying
have
it was
a.
something that she had though already, that she already had. No.
Well, it was
Right.
something that it's something that I bought when I was, no, I didn't talk to you about it though, but it was on the other tabletop before you switched servers or whatever you switched. I had gone back to my original armor that was supposed to come with Sari instead of the other armor. And so I fixed it all up in the other one, but it didn't transfer over to this one. So, and I changed the money back and I made sure everything was in the right place. And I didn't realize that I needed to talk to you about it. So, but it didn't transfer over here. But I don't want to take up all this time with people. So, we could talk about it another time.
Yeah, we can have
I'll
a
talk to you
shopping
about it.
episode at a different time.
Yeah. I'll talk to you about it another time. Yeah. I don't want to waste the time.
So I was just watching Saudi like mumble and drool to herself, and he's like, take it easy, Saudi. We're just gonna talk to these people."
Let's get to this magic shop and get some fun stuff, Shaw. Come on, let's go
Oh,
find something
hey,
fun.
she's back. Great.
Let's go find something fun to play with. Come
There
on.
we go.
Yeah, let's go see what we can find. I want to
Alright,
have
Sid.
something fun to play
Alright.
with. Something that
Alright,
blows
Sid,
up
go
and
for
makes
it.
beautiful colors.
Okay, everybody put your game faces on. You know how tricky these people are. We've got to try to persuade one of them to offer something so that they'll tell us more about how to reach the astral plane.
But maybe we should decide who's going to talk to them so that we don't all, you
I
know,
think
going talking
Zed.
at once and
We got Zed
overwhelming them.
because this is Zed's show when it comes to the astral world.
All right.
That's where his
So-
crew is. That's kind of where we need to get.
Okay.
Unless he
Zed's
doesn't
gonna
feel
talk
up
to
to
the
it.
to the dragon, and then we're gonna like do some serious shopping with the other fella, so
Right.
that Zed's on task. All right.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Break.
break, break, break.
We head into the magic shop.
Absolutely nothing has changed from a few hours ago when you were in here and bought nothing.
What?
Hi there, mate.
It's the
It's us
same?
again.
Hey, we have more favors to ask of you and nothing to
Hey,
give in
good
return.
to see you.
I want to
You're here.
buy something.
We're here for the conversation as always.
We love this shady interaction we get with you every few.
I
moments.
want to buy something
I-
fun.
So being honest, is fuck, I forgot her name. The name of the dragon lady.
Your compatriot.
Is your compatriot around here?
He's telling you in this,
Yes. He's just
You
kind
mind
of
if
like
I have a word
unenthused with
and
you
then-
guys being here.
Right. I know we're not your favorite customers. Well, we're probably not even considered customers. More of nuisances. But I tell you what, if I could have a conversation with your compatriot, I'd leave you with the rest of my compatriots who are looking to buy something.
Right,
And
we
Zed's
are,
gonna
we
kinda
are, we
lean
are.
in and give him like a nod.
He throws his hands in the air.
See, I told you he'd be excited to see us.
So excited. Actually
Perfect.
buying something when walking into a shop. For the 8th time.
Tragic, really.
Tell me
Prices
about
are
it.
Prince
so
Sari here
high.
wants something that will explode and make colors.
I want something fun, mate. I want a party trick. I want a couple of
Ooh.
fun party tricks, like something that explodes and make colors, or what have you got for fun?
I mean, I have a bag of holding. Those are fun.
A bag of what?
It's good for holding.
Oh, a bag of holding.
Childlike
Right. I
leans
was
in and is
thinking
like,
of something
they
with a little
don't
more
explode,
excitement.
Sari. They don't
No, that
explode,
doesn't sound
though.
exciting, does it?
Well, there is a way to make them explode, but it's not very.
He slides a necklace on the countertop.
Ooh,
Sparkly.
I like that. So what's this do?
He leans in with his singular, large, toothy maw.
And Sari leans in toward him.
This. Each one of these is infused with the power of a fireball.
Ooh.
Oh no way!
Now we're talking.
So how does it? If each one's infused, do you have to pull out each bead or gem, or just hold it, or how does it work?
You take the bead off at a time. You throw it at whoever you want to get caught in it.
And it's a
Ooh.
fireball. How powerful is the fireball?
Really
The
strong.
Powerball is fucking powerful.
Really
Fireballs
strong.
are powerful. And they're dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And they're colorful.
Oh, see, I'm scared that Sari might have this capability.
Oh, I would totally want her to have.
Don't
Totally
see
want her to have this thing.
any
This is-
problems with it.
Yeah,
This
That
is
don't-
sounds
I
like
did
a
not-
great fun.
This is Opal's Thunder Wave,
This is a
like
great
cranked up
idea.
to 10.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And-
Kid
this
didn't
is
get a
sure.
good didn't get a good roll.
100%.
Do you
Yeah.
want a
And
frag
there
grenade?
are 7 beads currently on it.
Ooh.
Oh, I was
Basically
thinking there was
7
like.
charges.
7
Oh,
fireballs.
she was so hoping there were more than that.
That is
No,
so
that's
many
pretty good.
fireballs.
That's
huge.
a
Oh,
lot of
exactly.
fireballs.
I expected
So,
there to be
That's
one.
like
So what do you need
badass.
for this? I'd love to purchase this necklace from you. What do you need for that?
something like this, it's only 400 gold. Sorry, 401 gold. I have to make some kind of profit.
Oh,
That's a
sorry,
steal.
rolls her eyes to her friends.
No. Cha looks over at Sonny. He's like nodding. He's like,
Just
That's a good-
nonchalantly, everyone's just like, do it.
Fireballs.
400 gold. 400 gold? No way.
No. Fuck, yes,
Yeah,
way.
everybody's
Ay,
waiting.
yes,
there.
way. Yes, very yes, way.
400 gold.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will just share it as the joke in D&D circles is that I did not ask how big the room is. I said I cast fireball. Fireball, sorry for your understanding, is an AoE spell.
The bad
That-
motherfucking spell.
Yes, it is a third level
does,
spell.
like,
It is widely
does, like,
regarded as the
6
best in the
D10.
game.
Okay, let's buy it.
It's a steal.
It's not
So-
60-10. It
You
is
feel-
8d6.
400.
So you all feel like
400 's
400
pretty
is a good price on that?
I
It's
think that's pretty good.
It's, So
Yes.
OOC, we kind of talked about this before in one of our shopping episodes. That's literally, by rule and letter of the law, the
Like
lowest
price.
amount that an item can possibly be worth.
For
Dude, being an
400
awesome
gold pieces is the lowest an item can be
a
worth.
for magic items.
for magic
Oh, I
items,
see.
the threshold, the lowest that
Yeah.
they are like that they start at is 400, and that goes up to like
Sir,
20,000. Yeah.
I would love to buy this necklace from you right here, right now. I'm going in my pouch on my belt.
I love how
And
everybody was just behind her, shaking their heads and they're nodding their heads.
I'm pulling out. What a great crew I've got here. I'm pulling out 401. 401 gold pieces. There you go. I wish I had those. Who was it? Was it Kozik or was it OC? Was it Kozik or Zed that had the gold pieces,
He
the
import that
coins
to
that
her.
you could hear?
I think Kozik has everything right now.
Yeah.
Kozik, do you
Kozik's
have
got
the
mimic with the gold.
do you
It's
have the
treasure?
coins, Kozik? No, I mean Kozik had at home. He had some coins that he did in his. You could hear him in his mic.
Oh, the coin sound? Like there was
Yeah,
a coin
yeah.
sound?
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, 400 gold and 1 gold pieces, my friend. There you are.
Cool.
He scoops it up.
posted-
Sweet.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Well, that's fantastic. All right.
And you. We love your shop. It's kick ass.
And Sorry
I-
puts that necklace up around her neck so it's close to her heart where she can get at it.
That's so awesome.
Chaw's like,
Thanks,
Be-
guys.
careful, okay? Don't ever use it in enclosed spaces or we are all dead.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
guess
what
that's,
you're talking
that's
about.
not really a party trick, but it'll be good to have, I reckon.
Oh, it's a
OOC.
party trick, all right.
We'll definitely have a party when you use that.
It will be
Right,
a party trick.
OOC.
But
Party
it's not
world
for the
leader.
bar room, I don't think.
Right. Niavara
Not
posted
unless we want to
the,
kill everyone in it.
The spell description. It's 8d6.
Yeah, the description.
8d6 per fireball, and then
Yes.
the
20
deck-
foot
and the
Holy
deck is
what?
right?
That's on
20 foot
everything.
Really?
diameter.
No, hold on. That's everything in a 20-foot
Holy
radius.
shit.
And if they
Everything.
fail the save, they still take half damage.
Right.
Uh,
So no matter
Oh
what,
my
you're kicking
god,
ass.
that's incredible.
It's
Sorry,
really cool.
I will post.
Where
I think we need to show Sorry how big an this is a
Some animations or something. Yeah, let's see what. Oh my god.
There you go.
that's how
that-
big that is.
That's
that
a
was
20-foot
the-
radius.
Oh
So-
goodness.
Think about how many beasties that you can fit in there.
Oof.
wow.
Each one of those squares is 5 feet.
Wait. I'm not seeing. Wait, where are you?
Right here.
I'm in out of
Just-
character.
Zoom your map out.
Oh, you're on that page. Hang on, you're on the other page. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, wow. That's
This is-
awesome.
This is a fireball.
Boom.
Wow.
I didn't ask. Like, this is what I mean. Like,
It's Thunderwave on
wait.
crack.
it is
Oh, yeah.
really, really, really good. I win gaga over a gift that gave me 4 fireballs to cast, let alone fucking 7. Oh my god.
7's pretty good.
You only use one of them per encounter.
Fantastic. Oh,
Yeah, it's
thanks,
like
mate.
it's like if things are really dire, you launch a fireball. So
I
it
used
could
up over half
potentially
my gold
save us.
pieces, but I'm happy with that purchase.
Take
Like-
it out of the bank. We've got
we have
a
plenty
whole
of
Oh,
bank.
that's all right. I'll just use what I've got, and then if I need to your help later, I'll ask. But fantastic.
Indeed.
This will
Indeed,
help
that's
us
all.
out a lot.
I've had the same vibe. I only have like, I don't know, 14 gold pieces left, and I still haven't even dipped into it.
Yeah. Just use what I've got first, and then if I need help, just like we helped Zed the other time, and I like the way you folks do business.
Hey, so before I have a conversation with you know, the compatriot there, I see that you got kind of magically infused items that have spells. Might be an odd question, but I'm not really incredibly magically inclined. But is there a way that you could just outright like buy a spell or learn one, or maybe I could trade some of my magical abilities to like learn something new?
Oh.
Not really my expertise.
Ooh, shit! All right.
I'm but a humble and honest merchant.
Of course you are. That's why
And-
we come by your shop so often.
And a big smirk.
Would
He does smile a lot, you
your-
notice.
yeah. Would your coworker have maybe more knowledge about that, or anyone that you know of?
Nobody that I would know of.
Great. All right. Well, he's gonna kind of tap the counter, like, you all have fun shopping. If you don't mind, I'm gonna have a conversation.
Understood.
Just out of character cubed, how do I get those 7 fireballs into my
I
weapon
have-
inventory?
I have already put the item in your inventory. Just keep in mind that you have 7 charges.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to
It's
have
is
one,
it under weapons or where? Oh, okay, wait. No.
it's
Inventory.
probably in your equipment somewhere.
Yeah.
It is under your consumables.
Thank you.
Found it. Thank you so much.
Dude, that's badass.
That's
Now,
freaking
sorry,
fantastic.
if you want to have a good time and you really want to make sure somebody is dead, you pull all of them at the same time.
Oh, wow. I'd like to see that.
And where it says
That's-
charges, just, whenever you use it, just modify the number.
Now wait a minute. This doesn't say what they said before. There was 8 d6s, and this says 1d6 plus 3.
That's how many charges it has. You're reading
Oh.
something different.
I'm reading
They-
Necklace of Fireballs.
Yes. So it says the necklace has 1d6 plus 3 beads hanging from it. That is how many beads there is. If you click on the word fireball, it will give you the fireball description.
You roll the dice to determine how many charges the necklace had.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's going to be so
Um,
funny
where
when
were
we
we?
finally use that.
He was going to talk to.
He was just
the
about to talk
dragon.
to the dragon lady.
I was gonna say we could either do, if you want to do that conversation, we could do that, or if they were gonna do more shopping, we're kind of like splitting the party, I guess, a
I
little
think
bit.
we can go into yours.
Yeah.
Chow
go
will
for
think
it.
about shopping, but you go ahead.
Because shopping episodes take a very, very, very.
Shopping
Yep.
episodes are great.
until you guys are like, man, we didn't do anything. Man, why didn't stuff happen? It's like, because you were shopping.
I don't think I've heard any of that recently.
I
I
haven't heard
heard it.
anybody
Oh, I
complaining.
heard it. I heard
Oh,
it.
from
heard
us?
it. I heard it.
Somebody.
Uh
I heard your subconscious. Anyway,
Oh, our subconscious.
Damn, apparently our Dean's
Is it-
psychic.
He is a godlike figure.
somebody's got to be around here. Jeez. Anywho, so he goes to the back room for just a couple seconds. You can kind of hear talking. And then he comes back and just sort of puts his elbows on the counter and goes back to doing what he usually does. And out from the back, a familiar looking woman. I drag her. But you recall her name being Sarissa.
Thank you.
And she walks from behind the curtains and steps forward. And she just kind of is like, yeah, yes?
Hi, hello there, Miss Sarissa.
Hello? She waves. Okay, I found a description. So she was the lady that, you know, looked humanoid, but she had like the patches of scales like all over her skin. Like these like small patches. And these really small wings, not like anything that looked like they would carry, but you know, maybe a small representation. And this like long blue scale tail that just kind of swishes behind her as she walks. Actually, you know, as she comes out, she's probably holding it like really nervously. But she has very regal clothing, like a nice brown vest and like a trench coat.
Very steampunk. I like it.
Blue hair, green eyes, yeah. And she's just kind of waiting to see what you want.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for helping with little one. I know I'm not sure how much I told you about the whole situation, but we were able to get him back. So, like, really, thank you. But second, and maybe now more immediately pertinent, is, well, we spoke to Lady Miriam, and we noticed that there have been kind of some of these astral ships that are, well, we've been seeing them crash into mountains more frequently than anything. But we were told that maybe you'd have some information about that sort of thing.
What kind of information?
I would say, well, do you know where they come from, or maybe where we could procure one?
And she's still holding her tail like in her hands, just kind of nervously. And she just seems to like be lost in thought. Like you could see the cogs turning.
Is everything all right? Is there something wrong?
It's been so long since I really went anywhere. The astral sea is really dangerous, and it's far from home.
Well, I'm not suggesting that you have to go anywhere if you don't like. I believe my group and I are, well, we've got a bit of a goal to maybe reach there and find some folks.
Well, uh, I do know that, um, well, not here in the Feywild, but if you the material plane, there's lots of crafters and really sciencey minded people that build ships and they treat them with and like art, what's it called? And she snaps her fingers. They treat it with like alchemical stuff to make the wood like lighter, and it's really interesting.
You were saying, now I'm familiar with shipbuilding and sailing seafaring vessels. I'm from the material plane. You're saying that all that exists in the material plane, and I guess I never found the right person to talk to.
She nods.
Interesting.
I mean,
You have any
nobody
sort
here
of
really needs them as much. We have the fairy circles and like instant teleportation and all sorts of things here, and sometimes you could just get a ride on the back of something really big. So we don't really. I don't think the Feywild needs something like that as much as other planes.
Well, you might be right. That's just as it's odd because the only place I've ever seen them is here. We saw one not too long ago. Fly into the mountain that's a bit over there. Now we were going to go investigate it, but then we ran into this town here before we got there.
I mean, I'd imagine that there's a lot more space out there than in the Feywild. Terra plane is really big.
So I guess your suggestion is first and foremost to get back to the material plane.
I mean, that's where I have known them to be built. I don't know any places in the Feywild they'd be constructed.
All right. And so if we were in the material plane, again, not having much knowledge to this, and if we were able to procure one of those ships that are all alchemically,
Like my note.
how then do you get to the astral plane?
Oh, that's as simple as well. Not how to explain it. You just fly.
Now, my imagination might be limited, but I just picture you get into a flying ship in a material plane, and you end up just flying around the material plane. There's got to be some sort of doorway or
It's more of a boundary than a doorway.
all right. Now
The
we're getting
astral
somewhere.
sea isn't a different plane per se, as much as, and she holds a finger up and disappears into the back room for like 30 seconds, and then comes back with like a cup and a pitcher of water. And then she fills the cup with water and then places a like marble or like a bead, something that floats in the water. So think of where we are and where we exist. We're that bead. There's just a lot
I see.
of other out there that we exist within.
All right then. Well, it seems so. Now, I'm not expecting you'd have the answer to this, but it seems like that'd be quite vast. And if we were happening to be looking for someone, it seems like it'd be very difficult to find them.
if you even survive long enough to find them. Not. And she looks down and blushes a little bit. She seems a little nervous, like, I didn't mean it. Not to say that you can't, but there's lots of very big and very dangerous things out there.
Zed's gonna kind of stand up straight. I'm very familiar with big and dangerous, to be completely honest.
There's always bigger fish, and that's why I don't want to go out there anymore.
All right. Well, I do appreciate the information, and I guess unless there's anything else that you feel like we should know,
Did you find any new information about the little one and where he's from?
I not definitively.
And you can give me an insight check.
All right.
Oh.
Which isn't. Oh well, maybe. I have proficiencies in like fucking everything. And insight is one of the things that I don't have any bonuses to.
Well, it's a good thing you guys have a lot of floating inspirations.
Speaking of which,
If you don't have one, Chaw will give you his because he knows how much you want information out of this.
I don't.
Okay, so Chaw's gonna give over his inspiration. Give it a shot.
Try. It can't be any worse, right?
No. Oh my
And
God! Are you
I
serious?
knew I shouldn't have said anything.
Would anybody
As
else like
soon
to
as
throw
I
inspiration
thought
at
it-
this?
The second that you said it, I'm like, it's gonna be another natural one.
I
Can't get any
it-
worse, but it can be just as as bad.
Yeah.
Wow. Good
It's a
one.
good
That
thing
is
it's a
how
party
these things
resource.
work.
That was worthy. That was a worthy way to waste an inspiration. Was to get
I'll
two
give up my
natural ones.
inspiration.
Yeah, ones in a row. All right, so now what do we preface this one with? Yay, information.
Okay, squeeze your eyes shut really tightly, Zed, and yearn for what you want to know. And click it. Everything. Okay.
Well,
That's 800% better than before.
Yeah, that's a good
man,
outlook.
how is insight? I've given no love to insight.
Wow. Fascinating. Maybe it's just not
I
time to
have-
know whatever the thing is.
I have
Neavara
expertise in
will
4
give
different
him
things.
We're gonna
her.
use all of them on this, aren't we?
This is no.
I mean,
this
what
is
else
so
are you going to
stupid.
use them on?
That's true.
Neavara gives it to him. Okay, let's go. I want to see it. One more natural one. Let's go.
Let's
Come
go,
3 natural ones.
dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Can we add all these up?
This is great.
Okay, do we even have any more party inspiration?
I think that might have.
Opal doesn't. Sorry, doesn't.
Oh man, this is so
We
sad.
literally used all of our inspirations on this, and I
You know, it's
I
just-
got a
it's just
9
not
out of it.
time. It's not time to know unless a 9 gives you a little bit of a hint of something. Maybe we can get more later.
She's just
Is there
nervous.
like a pity? Oh,
It's
Don't
just
do that.
nervous.
I mean, you got a 9.
Zed's gonna turn on. All right, sorry. Time for fireball.
The unfortunate circumstance of not being able to break a 10.
Wow.
It's actually really, really funny mentioning that
That's
Sorry,
destiny.
because Sorry does actually have a decent insight check, as does Neavara as the 2 wisdom casters. Or I guess she's actually a paladin, but like paladins
Yeah.
get wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cha has proficiency too. That's
But
funny.
yeah, she's just kind of holding her tail, and she just seems
Not
like
to
just
be.
very nervous in general. Maybe shy. Shy is probably more apt.
I have proficiency in 8 different things, and none of them are insight.
Godspeed,
Now you
soldier.
have proficiency in humility.
Aye.
Can we add that?
Brilliant.
So, any information about where Little One came from, or
Not not directly, but when we came across him the first time, I'd say, oddly enough, he was actually on one of these
hydrate?
astral ships that had crashed in kind of a snowy little mountaintop area. And like I said, there's snow and ice everywhere. I don't know if you'd be familiar with this at all, but there was a very, very, when I say very, I mean like the size of a tower, sword just stuck into the middle of the ice. And then we realized that there was, well, the remains of what would be a massive dragon frozen under the ice, being impaled by said sword. And that was mere 100 feet from where the ship was that we found Little One. I don't know if there's any direct relation, but we had never seen any of those creatures before anywhere else. And then we found evidence of one, and then the actual living, little dragon. So that's where we got him, but he still doesn't really speak about it a whole lot. And I've asked if he knows his name or where he comes from, and I don't know if it's reservations or just lack of knowledge, but we've not really gotten anywhere with that. So
Large dragon?
I like the remains of one. Looked like there was some pretty large battle, and like I said, it was impaled by a sword that's probably taller than Lady Miriam's castle.
Let's see if she.
We were a bit, again, through all this, we didn't really have a whole lot of time to sit around and investigate. We were chasing, well, the former ruler of your neighbor, neighboring town over there. And there was some sort of weird, almost like curse with being in proximity of this very large dragon. I don't know if it was the dragon necessarily or if it was the sword or what, but if we said the name of, well, like I said, the former town, I feel like I could say it right now, but we've kind of conditioned ourselves not to. There was a lot of kind of tumultuous things that were happening around that area. So I don't know if that gives you any more information as far as what was going on there, but
That's all she says. You don't really
Okay,
know what
well-
that means, especially with
But,
a
like-
9.
fuck, don't remind me. Like I said, if there's anything else that you might want to share as far as getting, maybe getting back to the material plane, if that's the first case, because I don't know if we're exactly sure how we do that.
We do. We
But-
were told. We were told how to get back.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, how did you get here?
It's actually kind of interesting. there was a little gateway that seemed to be formed between two trees.
Do you
Like
remember
this,
how to
and he's going to
get
kind of
there?
mimic what it looks like.
Do you remember how to get there?
Ooh, well, I remember kind of more or less the direction we came, but we were, well, it's a bit of a long story. We were kind of trudging through mud, and then all of a sudden we got encapsulated inside a big rock, and then we went underground, and we went a long way. So there's kind of no telling, unless we can find that rock again.
There's a lot of rocks.
There's not any rock, but well, I appreciate your hospitality and all the information that you were so privy to lead me to. So I'll leave you to it. Don't want to take up any more of your time.
Where did you large dragon thing with the sword in it?
So we were chasing he who must not be named, and I think we ended up getting to some point where we went through like a portal sort of thing.
There was an illusion cast on the whole area where the dragon was. And then we
Yeah,
kind of
see,
had to see
I remember
through.
us like we went through something. Oh,
There was like a veil.
it was
between us
the
and
I remember now.
Snowy.
It was when we met Max. It was the episode before we met Max. We were in some ruins. Okay, do this in character. So basically, we went underneath fella's house, and we were kind of in the basements and everything. There was kind of some weird ruins down there. There were some people captured, which is a bit nefarious to just at the least. And in one of said rooms, there was like it seemed like some sort of aura, some sort of weird sort of like portal or something. And there was 4 lights basically, or orbs or what have you, kind of like in the corners of the rooms. And we all ended up deciding that there was nowhere else for fella to have gone, so we jumped in, and we ended up in this icy sort of plane where the only thing that was out in front of us were, like I said, there was one crash ship, and then across from there was another crash ship, and then there's a big old sword, and then there was a kind of like a wagon sort of carriage or something. A couple people that had died there. I came to find out those were he who must not be named's friends, and he kind of fucked him over. And then there was a cave, and we went into that cave. There was a lot of nasties in that cave, but we ended up finding who we were looking for and dragging him out naked after killing him and then bringing him back.
That
I probably should have told you all
sounds
that.
terrible.
It was awful for some.
It was awful. It was terrible.
Would you be able to show me how you got to where you did?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Summoning.
Agreed.
Maybe? I don't even. We hadn't gone back. Let me just put it that way. So I know where we went to get there, but I don't necessarily know if it's still accessible. Being completely honest. Is there some sort of importance or maybe danger that is revolving around that?
No, nothing
Nothing at all.
I
Okay.
can think of.
Hmm.
And why would you want to go there? It was awfully cold.
Cold doesn't affect everybody the same. And she kind of, pulls a sleeve up and, sort of reminds that she may not necessarily be completely human. She
Right,
rubs some of the
yes, of course.
scales.
Let me. If I can't do an inside check, I can at least do this.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
Just if there were something that was there that again would be important to us, or not only keeping you safe, but like, this town here and all the people that we all care about. Just any sort of, I don't know. If you know anything that maybe we should know, or that we could help you with, maybe.
I mean, you're talking about a huge dragon with a sword in it. And then she rubs her scales again and sort of points to her reptilian eyes. I am curious.
Hmm.
I will. Oh, well, tell you, he's gonna kind of look around at the rest of the room and. All right, I tell you what.
You could sign to Cha if you wanted to say anything secretly.
Ooh, good call. So Zed's not gonna draw. He's not gonna leave his focus from. What was it? I already forgot. Cesari?
Sarissa.
Sarissa? God damn it. He's not gonna leave focus from Sarissa, but he's kind of like leaning on one elbow on the counter, and then he's got his other hand kind of resting on the counter, and if Cha looks over, Cha can kind of see Zed's
Cha's
doing
been
some
keeping a steady eye in that direction to see how it's going.
nice. So yeah, he's kind of making some motions on the counter that almost look like they're resembling someone, like rolling their fingers from pinky to index, and kind of doing that sort of thing, but he might change the rhythm up slightly here and there. And basically, he's going to convey one, that the suggestion is we go to the material plane to look for a way to get to the astral plane. But as far as the recent conversation, he's gonna basically say, so this one's looking to go back to where we were chasing Dale, to the big old dragon that was impaled. Seemed very curious, but I'm not really getting much else about it. You
I
feel like
mean,
that's a good
Kozik
idea or
did get
no?
the super banana.
That is
Did
true.
get the banana. There's still some stuff in that glade we have no idea about what's going on
Mhm.
with the magical tree, and we know
The
that Max
haunted
was the
teddy bear.
captain. The teddy bear, was that there? That was
That was
there.
there.
Oh
That's
God.
where we got it.
And we know that Max was the captain or piloted one of those ships.
He was the captain of he was the
was
captain of the
yeah.
other ship, of the opposite ship. The one that we found Little
Right.
One on, and the one that we found the bear on was
Right.
his adversary.
His enemies. And did he ever say who his enemies were on that ship?
I don't think directly,
Okay, so we don't know.
but basically he's kind of he's more or less just kind of walking. He's talking in circles around the idea as he's trying to get a gist of if Cha thinks this should be something that we should, if it's a place that we should try and go back to or not. Basically.
Cha's gonna be like, "Oh, that dragon helped us. Maybe if this dragon woman is concerned, she could help him." I mean, he's
So,
already dead. He's already dead and impaled in ice with a sword, but is still sort of conscious. Like, maybe she could free his soul, or
but while this
release him
conversation is
from that
happening,
prison.
what's Kozik and Neovar and Opal and Sari doing? So to make sure the camera gets panned to everybody.
Totally.
Sari's just listening in. She's completely lost because Zed was talking about things and places She has never been, so she's just trying to keep up with what's being said and just learn more about where you guys have been and what's going on. So she's just trying to follow.
Yeah, Opal's fascinated. She's heard more than sorry, but not all that much more considering everything.
I guess I've been imagining that this has been a private conversation, but does it seem like we're all just there?
I mean, we're all in the
You're
same
having a
shop.
private. You're having a private, not private
I
conversation.
thought it was kind of he had stepped away with her, and it was like we were off doing something else. But is everybody
Well,
there?
it just
We're
got
all
so
shopping.
intent that we're all kind of just leaning with our ears because they look so engaged in conversation, and we're all just kind of
Sure.
leaning over there to hear what's happening.
Opal and
imagining
Sari are
this-
being the biggest eavesdroppers in the world after Opal had that massive fight about how rude it is to eavesdrop last time.
Hey,
I mean,
that
and
was not
Chaw,
a
Chaw
massive
is,
fight. Nobody
Chaw is
even threw
intently-
hands.
Chaw is intently watching like Zed's sign language to figure out how to assist. So
Yeah.
Opal will go look at other magic items.
Well, no, I'll throw this out. So
yeah.
I pictured that Sarissa came out and Zed kind of stepped off to the side, but we're not like in
Yeah.
a back room or
Right.
and I don't think he's trying to be incredibly quiet. So there's definitely a potential of you guys listening in if that was what you were wanting to do, but yeah, I assumed that everyone would just be kind of perusing the shop and stuff like that. So I could see Sari and Opal like pretending to look at something on the shelf for like an extended amount of time, like way too long. And they're just like listening to the conversation.
As far as you know, Opal's checking something out to figure out how to make it herself.
And with an inside of 9, he wouldn't be any the wiser.
This is
Yeah,
true.
I've got no idea.
So what's Kozik doing in all this? Been pretty
Yeah.
quiet for tonight.
Oh, I just kind of have my hands behind my back, and I'm looking at all the stuff maybe that's hung up on the shelves and the on the walls. And yeah, I don't know. Is there? I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just sort of like, oh, there's a magic nail gun maybe, and you kind of pick it up, pull the trigger, but it's not plugged in, so you go okay, and I don't know. I'm feeling pretty tight on my my purse strings here, so everything's so expensive.
Huh.
Is there like
That's
a
a good,
like
that's
a
a good
magic
buy-off.
mirror that's on display or anything?
Wait,
Oh.
OOC, don't we have like
Vanity
3,000
check.
gold?
I think we do at this point. Don't we? I think we had like 1,000 or plus the
We had
additional
like
2,000. So
like
yeah, 3,000.
1,100. It was like
We've got
1,180
like
or 12.
$3,000.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Around
Yeah, we're
1,200.
good.
Yeah.
And then we just got
Get whatever you want.
2,222 from Tamara.
Nice.
So we're pretty
So
loaded
about
right
4,000.
We're rolling,
We-
dude.
now. Yeah, you can
we
get what
have
you
about
want.
like $3,300.
Why don't you get a magical hand
Well, no,
axe?
because 12 plus 22, right? 3480. Yes.
But that goes
Um,
away pretty fast in a shop like this.
Yes,
Oh,
it does.
for
It's
sure.
true.
And the
It,
last-
it could.
Huh, the last
What else,
time
what else are we
Kozik-
gonna spend it on? Ale?
Kozik's the right
Yeah.
person to be holding that bag. He's
well, the
got a
last
good
time I
sense.
tried to just spend something, I got shamed into not buying anything. No, I got a few
You did?
potions. Maybe.
You didn't get shamed. That was a good
Oh,
We
guy.
didn't shame you. We were
Niavara
saying you're
had-
smart.
You
Put
got-
me in a shame spiral.
Oh
Yeah.
well, Niavara.
Oh,
that's her.
Niavara.
Niavara automatically shames people. Like that's her. That's her
Default state of being.
Her raison d'etre.
So I'm looking at stuff, and I don't want to appear to be, touching things that are too expensive and stuff. So
Chaw's gonna notice this, and he's gonna be like, "Get it, get
Like,
it."
shame spirals are just what Niavara serves up for lunch every day.
Exactly.
It's her training.
Exactly.
it's like a cinnamon roll.
She
Yeah,
could
there's-
be
Trained
feeding
in
you guys
this.
poison. There's that. You
Yeah,
guys should
right.
all
She's
keep that in
actually
mind.
being nice. She's actually being nice to us when she gaslights us without murdering us.
Yeah, there are varying degrees of probably odd looking objects. Like a mirror here. I mean, there probably was a spot where there was like a little spot where an amulet with a few beads on it would probably sit.
I wonder what
Ooh.
horrifying explosive
man.
object was
Like-
here before.
There's like
handing
like
dynamite to children.
spheres and there's all
I'd
sorts of things.
actually
Like
say
there's a helmet that looks kind of weird, but kind of nice. It's got like these antlers on it.
Oh,
Uh,
that
if you brought up the dynamite thing, like in character, Opal would be like, "Oh no, aged dynamite is far more horrifying."
Yeah,
I
go check out that helmet, Kozik. Check it out, buddy.
all right. Let's see. What
It's got
size
horns.
here?
Come on, that's right up your alley.
You guys
Hmm.
spent a lot of money on me the first time we met. I think you, Kozik, deserve something.
It's super cool to have horns. And Cha taps his long black Impala horns.
They look
Hmm.
like deer horn or elk. Deer, whatever.
So I
They have
I
matching
check out the tag
horns.
and I kind of heft it up and look at the inside and feel around and see if there's anything I can tell about it.
Meet
As
the
you
Horn
take a look
Brothers.
at it, there's a little card that says Helm of Comprehend Languages,
Hmm.
700 gold. Oh, sorry, 701 gold.
701 to piss the accountant off.
You've got a
Because the
right to
guy's
make
gotta
a
make
project.
some profit,
Yeah,
you
you got a
know.
right to make a profit too.
Well, that does look like it could come in useful.
What?
Interesting.
Hmm. There aren't any magical guns in here, are there?
All right, now
Guns?
we're getting just crazy.
Hey, Opal
Well,
has
this is
firearms
Feywild is crazy.
He currently does not have any
Yeah, but we're
in.
leaving the Feywild, it sounds
Damn,
like.
Crazy. So
I can make
crazy.
my own.
Like, well, if I can get this helmet, then I can understand when people are having secret conversations, maybe. Although it doesn't provide me with any sort of enhanced hearing. Interesting. But I kind of put it back for the moment.
It hovers in its spot.
Yeah, everything's floating in here.
Oh, it's not. It's a
Super
magic
cool.
invisible pegboard or whatever.
All right. So, gets back to the Sarissa conversation.
So yeah, Cha is he's just asking the question like that dragon, it kind of helped us down there. It also sort of entered our minds and did some crazy stuff, but that crazy stuff was in order to defeat Dale. So maybe she could help it. You know, maybe she has a goal to help dragons. She asked about Little One. She's asking about this other dragon. Maybe she's on some kind of mission to serve dragons, or they're her people and she wants to help them or something. So it might not be a terrible thing to lead her back to Dale and to where we entered that place. That would be Cha's communication. Maybe it's not a bad idea, but
All right.
use your intuition.
I'm inclined to yeah, with the fucking 2-net-1. Yeah.
Oh, with a 9.
Zed's
get-
just gonna make it known, like he'll agree with where you're going with it, but along the lines of like, you remember both of us said the name within a certain distance, and that was one of those times for me where I had visions of Marn and I was being tortured. regrettably, and he's signing all of this. Regrettably, that was when you threw piss water in my face to wake me up.
All right.
So now, with that being said, we vanquished Dale, so
Yeah, we killed that son of a bitch.
we could be
Well,
on the
Raoul
good
did.
side, maybe. As long as everyone knows, just don't say the name, just in case. And he's gonna look. While signing all of this, he's gonna have eye contact with Sarissa. He's like, "All right, so it's probably I don't know, it's doable, but I got to think of the logistics and all that, and then we got to go back to the place and then find the right way. You know what? I tell you what, I think we could do it. How soon were you looking to maybe investigate that space?
I can go immediately.
All right. Well, give me a moment to speak with everyone, see if we're ready to leave, and I'll be right back.
Transportation would be covered.
All right. I'll be right back.
He nods and starts to talk to the shopkeep.
Zed's gonna turn back to kind of start walking toward you all without saying anything, but he's still signing to Cha. She seems, she seems really inclined. There's something seemingly very important there. I can't put a finger on it, but they're willing to go basically right now.
You guys have quite a complex sign language.
Oh yeah, we've been developing it the whole campaign. I like that it was just like in the last 2 episodes that we decided, you know what? It's its own language.
You just kind of figured out that it's so developed now.
That's awesome.
So Cha's
Zed,
gonna keep signing up
what's
until you
going
get
on,
back, but
friend?
then yeah, he'll start talking.
What's going on? I know you went to ask about getting to the astral plane or getting one of those ships, but
Right.
what's going on?
You kind of see him run his hand through his hair and kind of shake it out a little bit. Hey, well, so I did get some information about the ships and the astral plane and all that. It's not, well, it wasn't necessarily the information I thought, or as much as I would have liked, but the gist of it basically is here in the Feywild, even though we've been seeing ships here and there flying around, this isn't really where they come from. And Sarissa's not really sure why or how they got here, but the material plane would be where we should be looking to acquire one, and then from there to get to the astral sea, it's just more or less finding your way. You gotta kind of go up into the cosmos, I guess. So, there was that bit, but more immediately, I would say. Now, sorry, I know you weren't there, and Opal, you weren't there, but there was a place that we found that was in a town just neighboring here. The long story short, the leader of the town was oppressing everyone there. He's gonna kind of put his hands up to his mouth. The whole town's basically mimics, which was kind of weird. And he was starving them. So we ended up deciding to put a stop to that. And along the way to chase said individual, we came across an area that Sarissa's very keen on exploring and investigating, and has asked if we could maybe bring her to that location. So I've said that it's potentially possible, but we hadn't been back since we were there first, so we could at least try. And I don't know what you all think about that.
I'm
Well,
down. Sounds interesting.
If Max is still there, we could perhaps see how far along he is on his astral ship, and we could
Ooh,
knock
I
down
forgot about
two
that.
imps with one igneous rock.
Right. Right.
What? You know what? I'm not
That's
gonna
a
look it up.
I'm sorry, it's an old
interesting.
infernal saying. But we had somebody we traveled with for a short time. They weren't the most
I
trustworthy person, but
Max
they're
and
still over in
Raoul.
that town.
So,
Now,
yeah, the
why does
last.
she want to go to the town? She wants you to.
Well, no,
She
we got.
wants us to take her.
She wants to go to. So specifically, there's a place where it's basically, sorry, where we found little one the first time.
Okay.
There's a huge, and I can't stress how big it is, dragon that's
Huge.
more or less remains. That's kind of frozen underneath ice in the middle of what looked to be maybe a lake. I don't know, but there's a sword that I again can't stress enough is large enough to impale said dragon,
Oh
and it's
wow.
stabbed through the ground in the middle of the lake, impaling this remains of a dragon. And as soon as I mentioned that, because she was wondering about little one and where little one came from, and I don't know for certain, but that's at least where we found little one. So she's very curious about that area and said dragon in the ice.
Understood.
Okay.
Now I will
Guess
say,
it's the point.
Is that going to help us?
Another.
I mean, what
It
is it we're
could.
trying to
It
get
could
to? Will
because
that help us?
Yes, Max, who we were traveling with, is in that town, and he was trying to gain capital to rebuild an astral ship.
well, at least that's the story he told us. We got to be, take his words for what it is. But the other thing too is that in that area there were actually 2 astral ships that had more or less, I guess,
Right.
crash
He was
landed.
going to have his crew dismantle them as part of that job, if I
Right,
recall.
but again, it's Max.
So don't trust a goddamn
He
word of
could
it.
Oh,
he
I
could
don't
be,
trust him. If anybody doesn't trust him, it's me. I know more
course.
about / quote unquote him than anybody else does. But
No, but I
he
agree
was
though.
telling some truth.
That
He
was
was
the
telling truth
expectation.
about being on an astral ship. He did want to get back there. He has a goal. That goal is in the astral world.
Right? So
And Chaw's
it
like looking very seriously at everybody about this, like it's truth.
all I'm saying is if he's still there, then we got something to go off of. But
Right.
if we never run into him, more or less, the last time we were there, the path should be pretty clear. And we made friends with the town. Kozik here is pretty much their like de facto leader.
I've been
Well,
derelict in my duties.
Chaw's gonna kind of gesture everybody in for more of a whisper and be like, "Okay, but listen, you guys, that dragon wasn't really dead. It was talking in our minds."
The
Right.
undead can
Oh,
speak.
great! That sounds great.
That sounds
Okay,
amazing.
so if we show this
And
person,
that's tongue in cheek, you realize.
if
Okay,
we
sorry,
show
go
this
ahead.
person, oh, I got it. If we show this person this place, we really would want to trust that they are there for good intentions. But the fact is, the dragon helped us to defeat Dale. They gave us power to defeat him,
Oh.
It's more or less
and it was
kind of working off of our anger, and it
right.
gave us a bit of strength. And so
Who's this
Right.
Dale?
Dale's
that's
the
the
name of
leader
the
of
guy
the
oppressing the
town.
Okay,
inmates in the
okay.
He
town.
was the one that was starving
He was a
the
bastard,
townsfolks and such. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
real
He's
right piece
gone.
of
He's
shit.
not the problem anymore. We don't have to worry
Okay,
about him.
okay.
He's gone. He was
But
possessed by a
with that,
devil and made a
with
contract
that
with hell
being
and stuff.
right, real fucked up business. But with that being said, realistically, the path there should be fairly clear. And
I guess my point is maybe we can help that dragon. If this woman finds him, maybe she can release him from his imprisonment. And maybe release his soul if he truly is dead. And maybe
right, and
she's related to him. We don't know. Maybe she's related to Little One. Maybe they're
Not
all
all
a family.
Not all dragons know each other, Chaw.
No, I understand that, but she's very
Oh.
interested in these dragons, specifically Little One and this place where we found him.
I'm
do gotta be
also
careful.
interested. And she cuts herself off.
What's that?
I'm not gonna like what I'm about to say. We also got to be careful because Neovara did say at one point that she wasn't necessarily against having interactions with dragons.
Neovara, like, sort of, like, flushes up and she's like, that is not what I meant.
Fair enough.
Was it a
Zed
metaphor?
just kind of snicker.
And she's like, Chaw, you have to consider that she might not necessarily have the best of intentions towards it. Even though she could, in theory, be on a noble mission to, like, help this dragon out, it could also be entirely likely that, like, I don't know, there are plenty of species out there that, like, I don't know, like to kill each other in, like, ritualistic combat, the whole shebang.
Well, how about
Isn't
we
the
ask her?
dragon
Why
there
don't
first?
we just ask her point blank and everybody see if she's bullshitting?
I mean, sure, I
Well,
can ask her.
We're gonna
Yeah.
have to do that before we.
But here's another
before I
point, though.
feel
How much worse could
comfortable
it get
agreeing.
for that dragon in the eyes? Really?
If it's
Well-
raised as, like, undead, I think I would consider that fairly worse.
Well,
we don't.
maybe for
I-
us.
Admittedly, we don't really know the lengths of what could happen because one, it's the Feywild, and two, it's just something that I feel like we're not necessarily quite familiar with. But
Sure.
with all being said, if our goal is to get back to the material plane, this isn't necessarily out of the way because the town that we were going through, we went through on the way to here. And if we were
Right.
going back, we could very easily just stop back in that town and
It is on the way back, if I get my directions correct at all. But we might not even need to get back to the material plane if Max has actually accomplished creating an astral ship again, or
exactly.
is close to it.
And I would assume that, building one from scratch or buying one on your own is going to be probably pretty costly. So yeah, if we could find one or
He's been salvaging those two,
no,
a
I
bunch
mean,
of them, right?
right. I'm saying if it were up to us to go to the material plane and just get one from
Right.
scratch, that's probably
Yeah.
not going to be an easy endeavor.
Right.
True.
Also,
And
Chaw,
who's
give me a
gonna
history check.
pilot? Okay.
So I give her the nod. We're doing it.
Okay, just checking.
I think. For God's sake, Cha, come on.
Hmm.
Dude, our checks
I
today.
think Cha's gonna say, "Let's confront her and say, what are your intentions if we take you to this dragon, and see if we can all determine if she's lying, if she's being truthful.
I-
Then we'll
Yeah.
decide if we take her there.
Let's
I
do some
agree,
perception.
let's-
All of us
But let-
together as a group.
I agree. Hold on. But
Everybody huddle around the really nervous lady. Got
she
it.
seemed very. I was gonna say in character, like she seemed very, very timid. Just keep that in mind. She's
All right.
Let's
very
not
nervous.
harass the very timid woman.
We'll walk
That would
up
be
slowly. We
incredibly
won't
rude.
be.
Opal walks
we won't
up. If
be
you don't tell me what I want to know, I'm thunder waving this entire shot.
Fireball.
I was not going to say that, and I'm also not Cha acting like this is a wild animal approaching Crouch with our hands outstretched to prevent any stress from occurring.
Clearly, that's how we have to approach, like, I don't know, Kozik to get him to do stuff.
We have to come at Kozik with a piece of bone or some bone and meat. Sorry to
Kozik,
go
why
to
are they
those meetings.
Kozik, why are they ganging up on you now? What did you do to them?
You're
They're
right.
jealous.
Sorry, Cha.
Obviously
I have to
jealous.
reward you with treats whenever you say,
they're jealous
something not
because-
horrific.
You
In
should
any
really
case.
get that horn helmet, by the way. It looks awesome. on you. Okay, let's walk up nice and slow.
Is this person not a dragon in disguise? Didn't we learn that?
Yes.
We did learn that, yeah.
They are.
And
yeah.
we all know that. We haven't said that out loud, but it sounds like she was being open about it.
I think
with
Opal
Zed.
noticed.
She
Well,
was.
yeah,
ge-
so
well, I
she
mean,
could
in the
destroy us all.
even in the conversation that Zed was having with her, she's holding her tail.
Right,
Dude.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
and
Between
she's
between her
gesturing
and the
to
beholder,
her gym scale. She's
between her
basically
and the
like
So
beholder,
she's
they
not
could
just a
wipe us out.
dragonborn. She's not just a dragonborn.
She is a
She's
dragon.
She's a dragon.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I believe it was before you joined the party, but Opal had rolled a perception check in this very shop to find
Yeah,
out that
yeah,
the
we all-
shopkeep
we
is
all
a
know.
beholder, and stuff
And
like
we
that.
shared all
Yeah.
that.
And
Everybody
that
knows.
she's a dragon.
Everybody,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
shared it with
She's a-
I
everybody.
thought she was
Everybody knows.
dragonborn. I got it confused. All right.
Nope,
So
dragon.
we have no illusions. They could wipe us out right now, the two of them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like to
I've
see
got
them try.
7 fireballs.
I like
I-
your attitude,
It
Neovar.
depends on the
That's good.
dragon, sorry, but I like your spirit.
Okay, let's walk up. Let's ask her. Okay? Let's go. Zed, you go ahead and ask since she's been talking to you.
Yeah, Sarissa, sorry for the wait. So, we were all contemplating going back there, and it seems feasible. But just realistically, if you could be so inclined to acquiesce my request, would you be able to tell us exactly why you want to go back, or what your potential concerns or
What your intentions are with the dragon?
It was
Right.
such a fucked up place. Like, ma'am, I will
Yeah.
be so real. What do you want with it?
I've only heard bad
It's a
things about this
dangerous
place.
place. It's a dangerous place. We need to know your intentions.
This is
Depends.
fair.
100%.
would.
Inside check.
right
God.
group insight check?
Group inside check.
Not a
Get better than a
moment of
9.
hesitation.
100%. Inside check.
Oh, there we do.
Oh my
Alright,
god.
That's
doing
better.
this.
That's better. Wow. Hey.
I have a +2.
Okay.
I have a +6.
Come on, Kozik, get in there.
Oh, I wanted to roll
Yeah.
higher.
Let's go.
Buddy, now we're
All
talking.
right.
Sorry sees through all.
I love it.
Yeah, you got it.
The radiant weapon helped her see.
Rock and
Yeah,
roll.
exactly.
$16 and that 20. Yeah. Right. Okay. Sure.
Notices something deeper. Let's hear it. There's something unspoken going on.
A dragon. Yeah.
So so what I'm just sensing is her own distrust, not that we shouldn't trust her.
There's something missing.
Oh, tell me.
Ooh.
Oh, so there is a lot of deceit going on then.
Snow job.
Niavara smelled a rat.
Oh.
I know a face when I see one.
You were looking for a rat, just admit it.
That's the
She-
truth.
This is why Niavara has been alive in the Underdark for 20 years, and you guys haven't.
Good call.
Right. Right.
She's presenting.
Yeah, that's not. It's not like it's like it's real as far as it goes, but there's something else there that's more that is not being revealed. She's just
So Cha's gonna look around at everybody.
well. If she's being deceptive, then I'm not gonna feel like
So yeah,
trusting
Cha's
her
gonna
so
look
much.
around at everybody, look everybody in the eyes, and see, what do you communicate? So Cha's gonna look at each person, and then he'll come to Sari, be like, "What do you communicate with your eyes when he looks at you?" Sure, sure.
I'm conveying with my eyes that I'm not so sure we can trust her.
Okay, so I think Cha's
Oopsie, I didn't
gonna
unmute.
kind of note that,
Basically, I was just
and then he's gonna look back and
I
be
was
like,
telling them that she
to
is a
Zed
dragon,
and to everybody.
and
We'll talk about this some more, and then we'll get back to you about
basically the feeling that
about
she
what we're
is.
going to do about this.
Yeah, we
Is
were
that
just
okay?
headed
There's
for some
a little bit
food.
of
Let's
timidness,
just go
but
do what
it's
we have to do
amplified
and have a talk about it.
We have some important
with Nat
duties we
20.
need to accomplish, and
But she is being
I
very
mean-
quite a
truthful
journey to get
to the extent
where that
of
place
her
is.
intent.
It's very difficult. So we'll converse about this with you again, if that's okay.
I do have business with Tamara tomorrow, so like we do have to be in the city until then.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Let's check back in. We'll check back in with you tomorrow. We'll come by tomorrow.
We understand that this is a sensitive topic for you, though. We're going to seriously consider what to do about it.
All right.
And thank you for having this wonderful shop and all the cool items. We will be repeat customers. I promise. We won't just come in for nothing.
Well, I spent a good penny. I think we're good.
Cha's gonna start ushering everybody out of here.
Niavar
Thanks
doesn't need to be
again.
told twice.
Oh,
shit.
that's tragic, Niavara.
Not gonna buy the helmet that you were looking at, Kozik?
Do you think I should? I mean, it does look pretty nice.
mean, what is
Get
it?
it if you want it, buddy.
What is it about the helmet that's useful?
According to this tag on it, it says that I'll be able to, the wearer, not just me, will be able to understand all languages.
Niavara pauses for a moment and she's like, how many times have you been frustrated with us actually, like, speaking in other tongues? I mean, like, surely you don't need it.
Right. I
wasn't
mean,
there
700, is that really, do you really need that? I mean, could it really help us?
Wasn't there another amulet as well?
I mean, it is cool, but
Totally
if
up
you
to you,
want it,
though.
get it, buddy. Live
It's
in
a
the
lot of money
moment.
for
So
that's a
for
good,
comprehend languages,
20% of our money.
You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read a page of text. The spell doesn't decode secret messages or a text or a glyph, such as an arcane sigil,
Well,
that isn't part of a written language.
Well, I've got some Fey skills that actually take care of that bit.
Oh.
Wasn't there
Well,
other items here just so
It
we don't
seems a
miss
little
out?
bit.
Oh
too
yeah,
much
there's a
money
ton,
for that.
right? Isn't there a ton of different stuff here?
Yeah, there's lots of stuff here.
You mentioned specifically before the helmet, you said that there was an amulet, and the one amulet that we just bought had 7 casts of fireball. So
That's
I'm
what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
You guys bought that one. Like there was a spot where the amulet would be sitting.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of ushering people out, we could go back to window shopping again
Well,
and possibly get something.
Ah,
Madam Sarissa,
Yes.
I think I would like to purchase this helmet.
oh, he's gonna get it.
Nevarra twitches in the background. She's like, damn it.
Very, very well.
That's so well done in character.
I leave the.
Is that because you don't want to be understood?
Never.
There you go. Now you're thinking. Now you're getting it.
I mean, it's for written text, written languages. So
I think
Yeah, I was
Moran,
gonna
like,
wonder. I was
Oh,
gonna
doesn't
wonder
it
about
also
that,
do
though.
like
It's
It
not.
would-
Wait a
it's not-
minute.
Can't.
You can't
Like,
put
we'd
it
be
on
able
your
to get
head
thieves can't.
and understand what someone's saying. It's not like a universal translator. Come on.
I think
Oh,
it
it's
is.
just-
Yeah.
What?
It's
That
just
is what
for
it
You
is.
said
reading.
it's for written language.
It's for
Can't we
written language as
understand
well,
spoken language? Oh,
also.
as well. All right.
no. So here's So it's both. So it's for the duration. You understand the
Both,
literal
alright.
meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you can see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
That could be
All
a
right.
problem.
Universal
but otherwise, it's
translator.
pretty cool.
So it doesn't
It is
make
a
it
universal
so
translator.
he can speak back in the same language. It just means he could understand what they're
You
saying.
can understand it. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's
You wouldn't
that-
understand thieves can't though, right? Like that's a secret code. So it
That's
says
something
no
he
different.
would, yeah, he would hear. He even if like we're saying
Yeah.
something out loud, he would be like arm
You
hand
wouldn't
wiggle.
get it. Right.
It's explicitly a
right.
metaphorical language, not like a we just use
Is
the
it symbols or is it words?
It's tactual. It's also subtle words placed within a sentence. So you can say one thing, but you're meaning something else. So he wouldn't be
but
able to get that. It's too subtle.
Why? But if this thing can understand any language, why can't it
the
understand?
No, it would-
literal
it would-
meaning of it.
It would understand the language. It wouldn't understand the subtext.
It can understand the literal meaning of the words. However,
Right, I
because
did
it's
hear that,
explicitly
literal.
a metaphorical, it'll miss
Ah,
Cockney
metaphors.
okay.
Like
I
a
see,
Cockney
I
rhyming
gotcha.
scheme.
I imagine it like you can
gotcha.
learn a language, how to speak it, how to read it, but sometimes the more,
Yeah,
it's
it's
in-
the subtlety.
the more subtle things might be lost upon you.
Like,
But who knows? Maybe if you wear it long enough, you might be able to pick up on that subtlety.
like
Or if
Kozik
we
could
teach him thieves
hear,
camp.
for example, oh yeah, first rise over the sun moon. Like that will be nonsense
Yeah.
even if he understands what all of those words individually meant.
Right.
But it could be very handy for coming across, strange texts or messages that we read on pillars that none of us know the language of. It could, because we don't all know all languages. We all know a few, but this one
But
could
Kozik
nail weird
specifically
ones.
has like a feat for that.
Oh, that's true.
Mhm. This is mostly good for Kozik being able to
written,
understand
huh?
all conversations.
And for written.
or whoever's wearing it, not just Kozik,
I mean, you don't have to get it either. It's fine, yeah.
I think it seems fucking cool. and I want it.
Sean's
Um,
all for it. He's like, live your bliss, buddy. Get it.
so
Money is ephemeral. We'll get
yeah.
more. Mm.
So I took half the gold out of my gold, and then the rest out of this out of our fund. So
Nevarra was attempting not to look bothered by it so that she wouldn't influence him to buy it, only for him to get it in the end. She's like, "Ah!"
I love that she's bothered by it.
Zed's gonna sign to Cha.
Yeah.
Just with the idea, so Sarissa was asking a few questions about Little One. The two of them has never met. Because when we were first in here, we were asking her questions on how to find Little One. You think it might be a good idea to maybe have the two of them have a conversation?
Wait, you're talking only to Cha right now?
Yeah, and thieves can't.
Damn,
Cha
because I've
kind
got some
of,
thoughts on that.
I mean, he'll bring it up. He'll
Neovara.
bring it up later. I think
I'm
he would
only
bring it
doing
up
that because we're
later
still in the shop.
because we're
Yeah,
still in the
I'll
shop. Yeah.
right.
And
Neovara is just
outside,
like
I think we can all
wiggling.
talk about this. Cha's gonna be like, that's I don't think that's a bad idea. But let's talk about it with everybody when we get out of here.
Zed's just gonna nod.
And in the background, like Zed and Cha having a conversation, and like the camera's on them, and then the foreground blurs, and you see like Kozik in the background, like picking up this helmet and pulling money out of a bag.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Good job, buddy. You're gonna look badass in that thing. Look at those cool
Right.
horns.
There's no
Wonder
no
what the-
need to make me self-conscious about it. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
So you take the helm up to the counter.
Yeah.
So you are met with the gaze of the shopkeep. A fine helmet.
Yes, it seems like it'll be quite useful to all of us.
Of course.
All of us, right?
And for the perfect
Yeah.
price.
It does seem like a bit of a
Ah,
bargain. Thanks.
I don't know why we think we need it, but hey,
I say something to her in Dwarven.
Nice.
How does Sari respond to that?
Sari speaks Dwarven,
Does
and she does, and she just looks at you a moment and turns and walks away.
That's funny. What did you say to her? No, you don't have to tell us.
That's fine.
Neovara is like tapping her fingers against her face, and she's like, "Okay." Like, I am kind of surprised that Sari doesn't understand why you wanted after Cha and I did, in fact, have an entire conversation behind all of your backs in Infernal. There certainly couldn't be any sort of like temporal reason as to getting that.
Cha looks over at to to Neovara, seeing her steaming about this, and is just nodding, like with a consoling look on his face, but also an understanding one.
Zed's
She's
gonna
like,
look
Damn
at-
it! I don't want to be understood by everyone. Are there
Zed's
no
gonna look at-
secrets? Can there be no secrets?
She's like,
Right.
at the very least, barring all else, I still have Thieves' Cant. I might just have to blind Zedrin in the meantime. Sorry, Zedrin. I'm
Right.
sure you'll understand.
We all know who knows Thieves' Cant in this group, so it's not too hard to work it out.
I mean, have you guys needed this in the past in your?
I think there were times
think-
when it
I
could
think
have been
Zed-
useful. Yeah.
Zed's gonna look
Yeah.
at Cha and Neovara and just be like, if we had the helmet, we would have known what Kozik just said.
Neovara is like, it could have literally
If
just
you were
been
wearing
the
it.
statement, "Sorry, peasants."
I'm sorry. Say that again.
It could have just been like peasants. For
Yeah.
all we know in Dorvish.
I bet he said something poetic to Sari. What do you guess? So it's something like condescending. I'm thinking poetic. What do you think, Zed?
It was William Dwarfspear.
Ha 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 ha.
I love the
I
idea
think
that
it
he
was-
shared some high like poetry with Sari right now. That would be
It was
cool.
something completely rude and snarky.
Was it? It sounded like it was, but
It was
Giving the
probably
benefit
just
of the
him
doubt.
saying like, "Oh, why do you think I got it? Could it be that I don't understand half the languages people have been speaking in around me?"
Hmm. You know, we could take turns with the helmet that allows you to listen to other languages.
yeah,
I
he
don't
was
need it.
very clear about sharing it with everybody if we needed it.
Because I know Common, I know Dwarfish, I know Primordial. I don't know anything else.
I'll be perfectly fair, like honest with all y'all's. The group that I was a part of, we were super like kind of like no money-ish. So I guess my attitude about money is it doesn't matter that much. So if you have it, spend it. But I understand there are people who really want to hold on to money. So I
That
mean,
will draw
Yeah,
the
I think
keeper's
it's a
eye.
great thing to spend it if you need to, but you know, do
What?
you need
it
to?
could be
So-
very useful.
So it's Sorry saying this while she fingers this necklace around the neck, or with
Number one,
zero
like
Sorry
reflection.
spent her own money on the necklace, not
Yeah.
20% of the group's money. And number two, fireballs do appear to have a be more useful in the immediate.
Okay, to be
Substantial
perfectly
impact.
to be perfectly fair, Sari was not there when we got the money that he just spent. So
Yep.
this is Kozik's money. This is all the money, not Sari's.
Well,
That's
sorry,
fine.
but half the money, sorry, was there when it was got the money we just got paid, right?
Yeah, sure, but
He
not
only
the first half.
so
the first
so
chunk.
okay. Realistically, he used half of his money. He used all of his money
Right,
to pay for half of the item,
right,
and then he pooled from the money that we all use as a group.
right.
No,
pay for the
I
other
don't
half.
really
It's
care. I'm
perfectly
just
fair,
giving.
and he wanted it.
No, I know. I feel like you're just giving shit.
I'm just giving him shit because, like, I'm just giving him shit because he
Because
just
of his
hurts me. So
patron.
I'm just like, do you really need
Exactly.
that? Like, I'm just, yeah, basically. There's just a little tension between us. So I was just playing with it. Like,
Yeah.
did you really need it? So
That makes sense. I dig it.
It's kind of. I have to be
Um,
honest. It's fun to watch Kozik fight back that because people give him a lot of shit,
do they?
and it's fun to watch him fight back a little bit. You know,
Miavara
he's
has a
like,
thing
look at
against
that
him for being a
necklace you've got
noble.
around your. Look at that necklace you got around
Against
your
what,
thing. It can
Miavara?
blow up half the city.
Against him being a nobleman.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, hierarchy of class, but you're a guy and
Yeah.
not a drow? Suspect.
Yeah.
Sure.
So meanwhile,
but
you guys all outside?
Mhm.
Yes, we're outside now.
That
We've
was
left.
funny. Child's like, good job, Kozik. You like you like your purchase?
Yeah, it's great. I'm gonna wear it with pride.
like, does it fit? Did you even try it on?
I mean, it has
No.
to fit, doesn't it?
I
It's
don't feel like
magic.
it has to fit.
Maybe it's one of those
Especially if
magic
we're all
helmets
meant
to
that
wear
it
it.
fits anybody that puts it on.
Yeah, I thought magic things just kind of fit.
Fit anyone, yeah. That
1
puts it
hour of
on.
attunement.
1 hour.
Cool. Gonna speak all the languages.
That's usually the
buddy.
time it takes to attune to an item. Just sort of spend a little bit of time with it.
This one requires attunement. You can't just use it.
I'm pretty
Okay.
does.
So
Where's my notes
how
on
do you
that?
Sorry,
you
look at
guys-
that necklace. That thing's badass. Super cool stuff you guys got.
I've never had such a thing. I know it makes me feel ready for whatever we might come up against
Item?
in this town you're talking about, because it sounds like, it sounds like it could be dangerous. So I'm glad we've got firepower.
There's
Speaking of which,
uncommon.
so sorry, you gave me a look.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
sit
I
requires
just
attunement.
wanted to
Maybe,
say I'm not so sure about this. I mean, I felt that she was somewhat sincere, but there was something about her that just I felt like she wasn't being completely honest with us.
Here, let's
I-
walk and talk away from the
I-
shop because
I
we
mean,
can
like,
probably hear.
explain what you mean, because, like, I'm just going to be honest here. Sorry, I'm sure you've recognized that, like, I have multiple different opportunities to be extremely dishonest here, but in my dishonesty, there's a sense of honesty. Is it the type of dishonesty where she's just like, putting on a little bit of a front for a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of a sort of shopkeeper's aura? Is it her customer service voice? Or is it like, oh, secretly I have all these nefarious plot lines. Ooh, I'm going to eat his flesh and become Dragon Supreme.
Well, since you've given me a pretty binary choice there between black and white, let me add some color to it. I'd say that what it felt like was that there's something I wouldn't say nefarious, but there's definitely something that she really important to her that she wants to get out of that town and that situation. And it really made me uncomfortable when she kept wanting to meet little one. And I'm just there's something that she wants that she's not sharing. And
I
I
got that
just
feeling
am
too.
got that
She's not
feeling
sharing it.
about it. Like
And it
it's
could
not
just be
all
that she doesn't
innocent, you
trust
know.
us. It could just
It
be that she
it
doesn't trust us, but
it
there was
could be,
something.
but there's something she's just I can't quite put my I can't figure out how to describe it, but it made me worried when she kept wanting to meet little one, and that made me
Well,
worried. Like,
well, no, I'll be clear. She actually had no mention of meeting little one whatsoever.
Yeah,
Uh,
that
oh,
was
I thought that's what you
now,
said.
our
no, that
secret
was
talk.
yeah. So Zed was talking to Cha and suggesting maybe they meet because she was asking where little one came from, and she was
Right.
she basically was one of the people that helped us find little one and save him, and gave us insight on what we could do and like what gym dragon. She's the one that told Zed what gym dragons eat and like all this stuff. So she was very supportive of little one. And the first thing that Zed said to her when they started the conversation was he thanked her for helping get little one back. And then
Uh-huh.
it dawned on him
Mm,
that she was asking about little one, but it was like it seemed more or less how little one was and then where they
Right.
came from. And
Right.
then and it dawned on
right.
Zed that we now have little one and they have never met. And so I was gonna pose probably in this conversation that we're having now,
Mhm.
if like what we all think about maybe bringing little one back to the shop or something.
It could be dangerous too for little one.
100%.
He's young. She's a grown up. She could manipulate him, and we
Well, this
certainly
is the
don't want to
feeling
put
that
him
I
in that
get.
situation again.
Yeah. I wanted to just throw that out there. I didn't want that to
Sure.
interrupt your description of the vibes you were getting.
Yeah,
Right.
just
Go ahead.
intuitively, my feeling was like, I don't want her to meet little one. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just feel
Is
like it would be dangerous for little one. I don't know why.
is there
And
like a
she
check?
wants something from that dragon more than just more than just she wants to help him. Like there's something she wants from the dragon in the lake, and it's not selfless. You know, that's all. That's all I'm feeling. There's just something there.
Okay, all right.
It's hard
Is
to know
there
if it's
Good enough.
selfless or not. She said it directly that she wanted to help the dragon that might be imprisoned for
Right.
eternity,
And
and I
that's
didn't get
when
the
my
sense. I didn't get
spidey
the sense she
senses
was
were
lying,
tingling.
though. She wasn't lying.
Not
But
lying,
there
but
was,
not
but there
being
was,
completely honest. There's
right,
something more she wants than
of
just that.
course. And it
All right,
also
well, with
could
that,
Hey,
just
how's it
simply
going,
be that
Khalees?
we are strangers who haven't bought much stuff in her shop, and she doesn't know it all.
with
And that
Still
could
Bless
love
be
that
you,
why
emote.
she doesn't want
bless
to
you,
share.
Still
child.
love that emote.
I love your trusting nature. I
that,
do.
is there
I
some
didn't say,
sort
I
of like
didn't say that's the truth. I said it's possible.
with that, okay. Oh, but with that being said, just with that alone, do we
Yeah.
all feel comfortable, given these feelings? Do we feel comfortable helping her, or do we think it's maybe too unsure to tell? And I feel like if we're even hesitant, that it's probably a no.
Neovara sort of like crosses her arms and she's like, "Listen, I don't know enough about the sort of habits of dragons to be able to make a sort of how do I say, complete check here, because it could just be that, as she's saying, she's part of a race that's pretty rare. She did offer you like specific knowledge of how to care for something of her own kind. And like whatever happened to that big old dragon from Dale, like that is pretty fucked up. I
Right.
will also just point out that if she truly is like determined to like find the town that we just came from, might I remind you all that when we first came to this new place, we told them all, "Oh my god, go visit Dale, the place that we just were." And we gave them directions. So, like, the ship's already passed for us to hide this from her completely. We have one of two paths forward. Either we can be the generous
I
benefactors and
am
help her
doing
and not
better,
get
actually.
eaten by a dragon,
Just latent coughs here and
or
there.
we can try getting out of here as quickly as possible. However, I do need to be here tomorrow because I have information about some bitch that's been following me.
Oh.
Oh, good, good.
But that's
How
my
about
deal
we
with
sit on it?
Tamara.
We sit on it till tomorrow. We told her we'll think about it. We can come back after we figure out this stuff with this chick who's been following you.
Well, it sounds like we've got enough things that we want from that town that you know,
We
we
should
might as well
check.
go with her because like Navar
It's
said,
gone
it's
from
better to be on her good side. I just don't want to
one
see you
cough
bring
every
little one,
like
that's all.
2 minutes to
I
I
guess
mean,
we
like-
have
every
a
so
point
often,
here
which
that
is
we
so
would
much
be
nicer.
traveling with a dragon who could probably slaughter us all.
I mean, I'm
that-
pretty
that is
sure
something.
that could, if I had to like truly guess about someone's intentions here,
But yeah,
and
like,
she sort of coughs
thank
as
you for the
she's like, I
concern. Hell
can't
yeah.
imagine why they
Appreciate
would
it.
do this. But if you're a creature that's like mostly known for being monstrous and evil, there might be like, I don't know, a significant benefit in making yourself look like something you're not. And she's staring directly at Shaw, like right into his eyes.
Right. You've got the point there,
And that
Nivara.
doesn't necessarily mean like a want to deceive people. It might just be like a desire to like not be seen as a monster.
I mean, I agree with you. We could help the dragon in the ice if her intentions are pure. And we would want to because that sucker helped us out. Now, he also got in our heads and fumed us up into an incredible rage-filled power,
I was there. I
power
recall.
Well,
blast, right?
that doesn't sound good.
But
I mean,
well,
we were
it
saying
was good
the name
because
of
it helped
the
us
evil
defeat.
man. The evil man who did
Right.
that to him. Like, I can totally understand it. He's actually justified and valid for all that. All the war crimes I forgive.
But he was at peace when we destroyed him. But he's still stuck in the ice. Like maybe we could free his soul, or maybe, I mean, an undead like Miss Dragon resurrected from, however many years of torment and pain could be a real problem for the whole world.
Yeah.
But
I mean, probably just for the Feywild. I would go back to the Underdark and chill out.
well, I don't want my girlfriend to be eaten by an
Then
angry
take
Miss
her.
Dragon.
Just take her.
I can't just take somebody.
Yes, you can. People
I
do it
could,
all the
I
time.
could ask
You
her.
can.
I
Whether or not it is morally good, that is a different
My
question.
goodness, we're getting off the topic here. Do you think she's gonna help the dragon or not?
Like I
Do you
said,
think
We
it'll
have
be
to
good
enough
for
decide, are we
everybody
going to
or
be
not?
okay whether she does or not? Are we feeling like we've got this? Whatever happens, whoever she turns out to be, we're going to be okay. So, does it benefit us to go to this town, and is it all right to go with her, whoever she turns out to be? That's a question, right?
I mean,
May
I'm
not
just
know the answer until we
going
go.
to be very grim here. It's a town full of mimics. I am not afraid of doing the same thing we did to Dale. If she does turn out to be bad.
You know, she's got a point. Maybe we could kick ass if she turns on us. We are
That's
pretty
not what I
badass.
was referring to. I was saying,
Just
oh,
to
we get to speak
understand,
them to the mimics.
do we want to go to this
Okay.
town because you think there's ships there? That's all I'm understanding from you, that we
Yeah.
want to go there because there might be ships there that we can get on.
Well, maybe two birds with one stone. I think that's the material.
Because
plan
unless we're
version.
going to get something that we really need out of it, I don't know that we need to go. But if we might be able to get transport, that's what I'm understanding from you, right?
Well, it's not too far
Oh,
away. It's
So my take is that I'm not betting that we're gonna find a ship, even if we run across Max, and even if Max has a ship, I don't necessarily see that as a reliable transport. We're gonna get ourselves into some shit getting back into it with Max. Personal opinion.
true.
I also don't to your point, sorry, I don't know that doing this benefits us whatsoever, but I also don't know if that has to be a motivation. I know it's an important thing, but
Could benefit her.
I don't know what could come of it. There's obviously potential for good or bad, and it's realistically just something. Do we want to put our nose in it and try and help out? Realistically, I've given Sarissa pretty much all the information needed for her to go try and investigate it on her own. Told her where we went. I told her how we got there. And so if we don't decide to help, that could just be on them to follow up with that.
Well, it
So
could make it easier for her to get there if she doesn't have to deal with mimics because she's with us. So it could be a passport for her to not get into too much trouble with the town of whatever they're calling
right,
themselves
of
these
course,
days.
of course. Well, I mean, if we're traveling with her, then it's inherently going to make everything more easy. But all I'm saying is it really doesn't need to be something that we involve ourselves in if we don't want to.
I just want us to think about
Sure.
what it is we want because I've noticed we do tend to jump at the whatever comes in front of us. So, which is
Right.
fine. It's an okay way to, walk in the world, but I just wanted us to think about what we want. That's all.
Well, personally, I do want to help people that are in need. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's self-serving on their part, but so far, everyone we've helped, it seems like we've been doing good. And I do want to
Very.
do good. And she
Well, I
did
like
help
that.
us with Little One, and the dragon in the ice helped us with Dale. And if we can help them help one another, maybe that's good. If
Well,
it
I like
I
turns
that,
totally
Shaw.
sour, if it turns sour, then we kick ass, we kill everything, and we walk away with some dragon teeth or something.
I to Chaw's point, for one, we haven't been stopped yet, eh? Right?
Oh, famous last words,
And
mate.
Yeah.
and second of all, uh, realistically, if it goes well, this could be our last little hurrah before going back to the material plane.
That's true.
Helping
Or
one
the
last
astral
Oh,
plane.
person,
thank God.
You say
and
back, I say there for the first time, but okay.
Yeah.
you know. Well, right. Sorry. Well, we got to introduce you to the material plane. We already introduced Shaw, and that was probably experience that we're not
Oh,
gonna ever
I'm never gonna forget
find
it, but I
again.
never want to relive it.
Right. That's a one-time thing.
that's for sure.
I
But
would
One-time
love to
thing.
I
go
have
back
to say,
home and
Shaw, I
all.
have to agree with what you're saying, Shaw. I tend to get a little bit, worried about is this, I get cautious. But I
right,
definitely agree with you. If we could help somebody, I
'cause
would like to
that'll
help. I just wasn't sure what I was getting from her.
'cause that'll
Caution,
throw his arm around Sorry and kind of like pull Sorry close. We got each other's backs, eh? We're gonna be
That's
fine.
right. That's right.
caution is a great virtue. Sorry. I will just say, like, I guess, like, one other thing, which is like, it was Zed's idea to bring little one to her. I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing. I don't think there's anything more lonely than being the only one of you
Yeah, right.
Hey, that's a
and
good
growing
point.
up as the only one of you.
That's a good
You're
point,
And
and I
again,
thought
she's looking
maybe
at she's looking specifically at Jaw.
Just
right.
just stay cautious. That's all.
Agreed.
There's something there. It may not be anything. It may not
It's
be
my
anything
true.
at all.
It's
But
a
just be
my
chance.
cautious. That's all.
my thought process there, and to kind of echo the sentiments of Niavara, little one doesn't really know too much about himself. It seems
Right.
like he's, well,
True.
maybe like some of us, kind of abandoned at a young age, and uh,
And that dragon might be its parent.
it well,
Not
it
all
could
dragons
be.
know each other.
No, we
Well,
found
no,
it
but I mean,
20 feet away from that skewered dragon. It could be
Sarissa
its own
might
offspring.
know more of little one, or might be able to.
Might have a way of
to kind of
Getting
lead little one
information
to
in
find
person,
some
yeah.
answers on their own?
Right. We don't
Right.
Teaching
want
it how to
be-
take care of itself. Humans don't know much about like how dragons.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
realistically,
Communicate.
little ones,
Coins.
as far as I
Maybe
know,
that's
little
junk
ones,
food for him.
little ones never met another dragon, another one of its own kind.
Hey, that's
And there's
cool. That's a
one
good
right
point.
here in town.
Right.
Who helped it survive and gets rescued? Not only knows it,
Yep.
helped him.
I just wonder, is all. And
I think we can do some good here. And I'll tell you guys, after I escaped from the 9 hells, every day that I live is just the cherry on top. I've lived my life. Now I just want to help. If we can help here, let's help.
Kinder person than I, Chaw.
That's lovely, Chaw. I'm with you. I tend to be cautious at the first and ready to go at the last, so let's do it.
Don't sell yourself short, Niabara. Come on.
I don't sell myself short. I am rather short, and she like sort of like does a little gesture where she's like, "Look at how actually short I am." Jesus Christ.
I appreciate the snarky transmutation. Kozik, what do you think? Buddy, you've been quiet about it all. What do you think? What would you like?
I'm for it. Let's go do it.
Look
And
at that
she's
helmet.
like-
That looks badass.
That does look really nice.
I like how
That looks
Kozik's like
great.
basically like the party's enabler.
I mean, yes, warlock behavior.
What? Should we do this
I
dangerous
love
thing?
it.
Yeah, hell yeah, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
Let's
How
go
can-
have fun.
How
Is that
can
a-
we not do this at this point?
Yeah.
We must.
Danger is the spice of life.
I mean, Kozik's the one that touches everything first. You know, there's established behaviors.
There's going to be like something that eventually, like, if you touch it, you get cursed to explode.
That's happened.
Has that happened?
Oh, it's like three-fourths, like, you know, like 75% of the time, Kozik is like, I'm gonna touch it, and bad things happen.
He just hasn't gotten hit with the
What
curse
are you
of
talking about?
He
explosion.
loves
He-
the touch.
He grabbed the banana, and that
Very
helped.
touchy. Yeah, it hasn't killed us all when he's touched his stuff, I think.
Hasn't killed us.
Touching the altar is
It's-
what
yeah,
got
we
Zed
found the
and
rod.
Kozik out.
We fought a beholder because of things that Kozik has not only touched, but then brought with us.
I gave it away.
Teddy bear. The teddy bear was.
You did
the
get,
stuff
you
of
gave it away to a little
nightmares.
girl. Think about that.
She's a
But it wanted
shape-shifting
him.
person.
It wanted him. It didn't even want the little girl. It wanted him.
And now we're
Got no
discussing
idea
going
what you're
back to
talking
that
I think we
same
got.
place.
I think we got a plan.
I mean, you do recall the little girl's the one who turned down the teddy bear.
She didn't
She
want it.
turned
That is
down.
true.
She did not. He
The
had to give
little
it to her.
half
He had to-
changeling, half mimic definitely was like smarter than him here.
Well, who did I give it to then?
You kept
No,
it.
you did give it to her. No, he.
Like-
he
She just gave it
he
back.
gave it to her. He
No,
petitioned her twice to
it-
give it to her, and
it
she took it,
appeared.
and then it appeared. Yeah. She gave it to him, and he gave it to her for a second time, and she took it, and then it like transported itself back into his gear.
Yeah, I wonder
Which
why
was
that
really
happened.
creepy.
Anyway, it's neither here nor there.
In any
Okay.
case,
Barring
Well-
that, I imagine by this point in our conversation, we're like roughly back to the Hofty Lieborn.
And it's
Chocolate milk's
time,
on me.
time for chocolate milk and dinner and a drink. And yeah, it sounds like a good place to.
Zed,
Let's go
Zed's gonna
check on
pull his
little
flask
one.
out and look over to Sari and be like, "I eat special chocolate milk, eh?"
Hey, perfect, mate.
Ooh, I want to try that.
Niavara is like going over to the bar top, and she's like, she looks at this point rather suspicious as she orders herself like an actual drink. She's unhappy, but she's not going to explain why.
You're not gonna. She's not gonna explain why.
She's nervous.
She's been moody ever
Zed's
since the
gonna
helmet
lean
was
into
purchased.
Sari since we're talking about like pouring from the flask into his drink. He's like, What's odd is she normally doesn't even drink water.
There's something up with her today. I want to know what's going on with her. She doesn't seem all right.
It's because
Something's
she's
eating
it's
at her.
because like there's a family member who's stalking her, and she's itching to figure out what the hell they're doing and who it
But I
is.
think we
and
should help her with that before we go help Dragon Lady.
we
Don't you?
are. That's
Oh,
what
we
we're
are.
doing.
That. Aye, we're staying here. She's got a meeting with
Yeah.
Tamara. Tomorrow.
We're not leaving with the Dragon Lady yet. We're gonna deal with that.
All right, good, because I'm a little worried about her.
Right.
As for tonight,
And we should be. She got a crazy message from someone from her past she doesn't want to see. Like, this isn't good.
Right.
Secret message at that.
That none of us know a damn thing about, right?
Yeah, not even me. Why am I even talking about it? I don't know nothing. Chaw's
So-
he's gonna buy drinks for everybody, and then he's gonna go see Sarah. He's gonna top his night off by visiting her.
All
Drinks
right.
are paid for you guys.
What? They are.
He's gonna gather them. Yeah, they kind of have been ever since Tiffany and Zed.
I think
hooked
that's
up.
more of a deal. Yeah, with Tiffany.
Neovar is suspicious enough to ask, where she's like, "Excuse me, like, why are you giving us these things for free?"
And at this point, there's like this other fairy, just kind of in this nice, like little, maybe like a tuxedo, and he's serving beverages because the boss said so.
Which boss?
Tiff.
Fair
Ah.
enough.
It's fine, Yavara. Just relax and enjoy some drinks.
They know where we are.
Who's they?
The person who found me, obviously. They're here.
Right.
I know that they know this location.
Right.
Well,
Sorry,
I
pull a
see
bead
your
off
point
that
of
necklace.
Yeah, I see your point of paranoia, but, and hear me out, we have an anti-house device right there. I think we'll be fine.
She snorts as she's like, I mean, like, I am the anti-house device. However, I do hear your point.
And it's not
You
just
are-
you, you have the rest of us. And when we go to bed tonight, you'll have two of us in the room with you.
That's
Everything
right,
will
and
be
we'll be
okay.
keeping an eye
we
out.
can all sleep. We can all sleep in the same room too. I'm just gonna go visit with Sarah, but I'll be back in the night. We can
Go
Don't
have
get
fun with your
murdered.
boyfriend. Go have fun with your girlfriend. She waves off.
And we can all keep watch.
I'll be back. We'll
You're
all
going
keep
to
watch.
leave her?
What?
You're going to leave her after,
So
I'd
it's
never
about
stay the
time you
night with
spend
her.
an entire night with that
I
poor
would
gal.
never stay the night with her.
It's
Never?
about time you do.
No, it's our third date. You
Oh, I
guys,
thought
you're such
Oh, I thought it
sex
had been long.
maniacs.
Neovar
Goodness,
snorts.
we've only had a very gentle kiss. Take it easy,
Oh,
guys.
okay. I thought there
Cha.
had been more going on.
Cha, I think you
Devils.
calling us sex maniacs and devils is just a tad ironic considering your place of origin.
I enjoy irony.
Especially when your mom's a succubus.
I enjoy irony.
Oh yeah, that too.
Gosh, I love the idea that he's kind of a conservative devil when he's coming to dating. He's like, he's totally
I know.
No
like,
sex
bar-
Pretty
until
cute.
marriage.
Pretty cute.
He's barely held her hand, let alone like kissed her or spent the night. Like he wouldn't
I know
even
it's
dream
pretty
of it.
adorable.
Neovar's entire perception of relationships is born entirely out of like spying on people at bars. She does not know how this works. She is lying.
With any kind of an insight check, you would definitely know that Cha has not always been this conservative, though. He kind of learned it through excess.
So, do you guys sit
good
down to get
times.
beverages?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Although Neovar has like positioned herself, she's like back to a corner,
So
drink
she
in
can see
hand,
the whole
watching the
place?
door. Yep.
Yeah. And we've got your back. I've got my eye on that door and on you too.
They're probably
So-
already in the building somewhere.
So, Chai, you can give me perception checks as you're heading to a particular somebody's house.
You got it. Perception.
Yep, cool. Anyway, continue.
Oh my god. Unbelievable.
And Cha
shit.
will be looking for her for the
Unacceptable.
rest of the night.
I can understand why though. He's just like humming to himself and he's thinking about little one and the conversation in the shop. He's just totally not in the moment. And lost in thought, he's humming and whistling and skipping a little bit, his tail's flicking back and forth behind him.
So is Zedrin also going on his date?
I think Zed's just here at the Lofty Highborn.
So, eventually, Tiffany does
Let's
show
go
up.
sit with. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Nice.
But, you know, it's work hour. She's busy. So, you guys sitting. So, Neovara's at the bar.
No,
are you
she's
who's
sitting in the corner.
You moved to
Yeah,
a
wanna-
corner, yeah.
I want to go
Yeah.
sit with
Picture us in-
Neovara.
I picture us
wanna
in
go
like a
sit with
corner
Neovara.
booth sort of thing, sort of situation.
Yeah, we're all
Yep.
together with Neovara. Yeah.
Aw.
Very
Yeah.
Well,
funny.
but we're looking
That's
out for her.
Yeah.
So, Tiffany kind of
Just for
flies over
flavor.
eventually. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like every time Sari looks away, Zed just puts like a little dollop more from his flask in her drink.
Oh, and she completely knows it and appreciates it so much.
She can taste it.
But pretends
And
like she
she's like,
doesn't.
and she's just playing into it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel like Sari,
exactly.
for whatever reasons, just like looking. She's like, "Huh, what's that over there?" Just like
Yeah,
way more often
exactly.
than normal.
Da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Exactly.
So yeah, Tiffany floats over with like a little box in her hands to your table. And she puts it on the
Right.
table.
How are you, Miss Tiffany?
I'm doing pretty like good, like totally.
Is it busy
God,
today
she's
or?
a valley girl.
It's
Yeah,
like
it
really
totally is.
busy. Yeah, it's like really busy. But I had to drop this off because it's like totally something that Miss Miriam wanted to like give you guys.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Okay,
right.
everybody
Yeah.
leans forward.
Oh yeah.
Right.
the energy's-
Obviously.
Who's
the
opening
energy
it?
changed.
I imagine all of the chairs or benches we're sitting on just creak as we all lean forward at the same time.
Exactly.
Kozik, you want to do the
Open it up,
honors?
Oh sure. Let's see what it is.
Touch it.
That was where I was going. He's got to be the one.
Oh
Wait,
my
don't
god.
we want to?
Touch
Don't we
it.
want to? Don't we
yeah?
want to like do a divine sense or something just to?
Eh,
Hell, let's just open the damn
I,
thing.
I
Yeah,
think
just
it would
open
be
it,
a
just
bit
open it.
far into her employment of us for her to send us a pipe bomb out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
Tiffany's one of her agents too, so
Right. Let's just open the damn
Yeah.
thing.
So Kozik, you reach out and you go
Touch
to open the
it.
box, and that's when we'll wrap up the session.
Oh, nice. That was a good one. Man, I love our discussions about what to do next.
Yeah, that's fun.
They're such a treat.
3.5
They go in
hours.
such a big circle.
I am not an indecisive person in real life, but man, in this game, we are so paranoid and we have so many different opinions.
Oh
It
yeah.
takes us an hour and a half to decide to do one thing.
Truly. It's really fun though.
Yeah,
I
it is.
love it. They're great discussions.
It's awesome.
They're really great, and they're very deep and poignant. Like we have good points. I love how Cubed is created so that we really just don't fucking know if we're gonna get blown up at the end of the mission or not. We just don't know.
We do
We're
not
just
know
like-
whether we are going to be turned to paste by at the end, or we're going to be come back fine, or
We
somewhere in
don't.
between.
Also, just so we
have
get into
no
the
idea.
habit
It's
of it,
great.
the vote for inspiration at the end of the session.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
The vote for inspiration at the end?
Yep,
That's a test
everybody
where
gets to
everybody
vote.
everybody
We
was
haven't done it,
very
I don't think.
engaged in this one.
Except for once, maybe.
We
Yeah,
but
vote for
basically-
whom to
talked
give it
about it. I
to?
don't think we've ever actually done it yet. We were gonna get
Yeah,
an
so-
inspiration at the beginning and one at the end.
Oh.
So we'll do a recap at the beginning, and it could be a group recap, doesn't matter, and we can all kind of choose someone to get the inspiration,
Mhm.
and then at the end, pretty much based on the session and what certain people did, like cool stuff or whatever, we can kind of vote to see who should get inspiration for this specific session.
And you can
Oh,
also vote for
okay.
the DM to get inspiration because we totally wouldn't use it against you. Nope.
Oh my goodness.
I
I
think
always
you've
think
got
it's funny that
DM's got
we
plenty
have
of inspiration.
we have those sort of like, don't give the DM inspiration. The DM also plays all of our friendly NPCs,
That's
like
true.
Tiffany and Sarah. So I don't,
That's true.
Tiffany
It
would
could be
definitely
used
use
for
her
good or
inspiration
ill.
to help the group.
I'm gonna go ahead and vote for
Good
Koza because I
point.
think it's funny, especially because he got himself something special and got himself rizzed up after many sessions of mockery.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I wanted to vote for Kozik because he did something nice for himself, no matter what anybody said. He was very patient. while we
Subverted all of
yammered on
our
for hours.
abilities
vote for
to talk
Kozik
behind his
too.
back.
I vote for Kozik too. I thought that took a lot of chutzpah to say I want this helmet. I
Yeah,
thought
and
that
he
was
didn't let
awesome.
anybody talk him out of it. He's
Nope,
like,
it was great.
"Psh."
He knew he wanted it. He got it. It was awesome.
All right, I'll take it this time.
Nice. You deserve it, buddy.
Does that make
Enjoy that
Kozik
horny
officially the
helmet.
only one with the inspiration now?
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
so.
We
We used
We
him
used
all for
3
Zed to
this
roll a
session,
fucking
so-
9.
We used 4.
God,
We used 4 people's.
unbelievable.
We used Zedrins. We used Chaws. We used Kozaks. We used
Oh my
Niavaras.
God.
All failed.
Oh,
I mean, that's what they're
man.
for, though.
Sounds about right,
If
though.
everybody has them and you get another one, you just lose everything beyond that.
It's amazing
It's
how we all
appropriate
get on
though.
that
It
roll
really
for-
helps us maintain that we really don't know the intentions of this creature who could potentially wipe us all out if they wanted to. So it's like we have to go on trust sometimes or even faith. Like we just don't know sometimes and we still have to make the decision. I really like that aspect. It's like we don't know all the factors. Let's just do the thing. And
Kinda
we're
like
trying
real
to do it with good
life.
intentions.
That's a big thing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, this is awesome, you guys. I'm loving playing this game with you guys. I'm just so happy every Tuesday, no matter how crappy I feel. I'm just like awesome. It's so good to
Got some-
play with you guys.
We got huge upgrades today too.
That's
Oh?
pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, like
Fireballs.
sorry getting a radiant
infusion?
longsword and
Yeah,
the
radiant
fireball,
longsword and a
then
fireball.
Right.
That was,
Kozik getting the helmet.
yeah,
We can understand any text we see. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
pretty cool.
That
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
very helpful for us.
And 8
Well, I
D6s
think-
isn't bad either.
Think of the next time that we're in the presence of Lady Miriam or someone of that sort, and Kozik has this helmet on. He's going to be able to hear
Ooh.
everything that anyone in the room is saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he could
Hey,
translate
that's
it. Doesn't
good.
necessarily mean he could hear it.
Right. May not hear it, but
But he could translate it.
understand it.
If he can hear it, he can
He
translate.
could understand subtleties. Or anybody else, if anybody else is wearing it. Like,
Sounds like it takes an
yeah,
hour
this
for it
is-
to attune.
Right, but if we know we're going to a place with like a high level, diplomatic interaction or something, it could be very, very useful. if they let us wear it.
Yeah,
They
right.
don't force us to take it off.
Well, since Kozit, I mean, it's a perfect thing for Kozit because dwarves often wear helmets, so it's kind of perfect.
Oh, did you see that picture I put on
Yeah,
on
it looked
Discord?
great.
I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Also,
Does
two
it? Oh,
two
nice.
critical successes, 3 critical fails. This session alone.
Wait, what?
There were 2
Phenomenal.
critical successes
The
and
rolls.
3 critical fails.
Oh,
The
the
rolls.
rolls. Yeah.
And can I just say, very funny for all of them.
Yep.
They were all funny. I'm definitely
You know what's
coming to
fucked
see
up?
that.
No. Hold on. You know what's not funny?
What's
What?
not funny, Zed?
That I rolled 4 times in a row. I got 2 nat 1s, an 8, and a 9. Now hear me out. Hear me out. The last nat 1 was Niavara. Her nat 1 was a fucking 10. Which is better than 2 1s, an 8, and a 9. Are you fucking kidding me? Your nat 1 was better than 2 of my inspiration rolls.
It's destiny. Pure fantasy
Get
destiny.
it all out of your system, Zed. Get it out
I
of your
need to get it
system.
out. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
When we really need
Do it.
those rolls, they're gonna be
Cure
there.
wounds can only heal
buddy.
physical wounds, not psychological.
God,
One of
that
these
is-
days we're
Wounds
gonna
they
have
will
like
not
Right.
heal, if you
one of
will.
these days we're gonna have 4 nat 20s in a row. It'll all be because of today.
Just at the
Don't
right
say
time,
that.
exactly.
Don't say that. It's going to be something like, 4 natural 20s on a red dragon that we're fighting or some shit like that, and we all
Yeah.
die horribly.
Yeah.
All we need is a surprise roll. Or a surprise round, and
Yeah.
we could one-shot
We're
anything.
good.
But let's
One
just
shot.
not tempt the fate with these things.
It's too late. Fate has been
Tempt the
tempted.
fates. That's right.
I could feel it.
Everyone
The
knock
second
on
he said it.
wood.
The issue.
Knock on some wood.
Actually, I
Where's
do have
wood?
some
I
wood
got some wood
nearby.
around here. There we go. I knew it the second Zed said it about re-rolling. I'm like, this is gonna be a nat 1, and there it was. I knew it the second
It
he
was-
said it,
I felt it as I was saying it, and
and it happened.
yeah.
You
I saw
summoned
it in my
for-
head. I was gonna try to change the image in my head so not to manifest destiny, but it was too late. It had already happened.
So it's not
See,
the dice fault. You did it to yourself. Got it.
Yep. Obviously.
100%.
your perception of reality becomes your reality.
Exactly.
The 2 re-rolls after that were indicative that it was just not going to happen.
Hey, if you add them all together, it
That's
ends
what
up
I
as
was.
the
I
19.
requested that. It didn't really get any response, but
I love it. Made us really have to digest. What are our intentions? What are we doing in this situation? It's not about the dragon. It's not about the astral sea. It's about what is this? What are our intentions?
Oh,
what
yeah.
drives this?
I guess
Also,
we
Opal
are
and
compelled by the.
Sari-
Oh, yeah.
Opal and Sorry, like being like, huh? What?
Yeah, there was a lot of that tonight.
Huh?
What are they
I
talking
feel
about?
like the reason that I brought up. So to Cha's point, as far as not knowing about this dragon's intention, there was part of the motivation of having Little One potentially speak with Sarissa
Yeah.
is like Little One's not going to lie to us.
Mhm.
And
He's just a
so
little kid.
Little one
like,
didn't even
they-
lie when Max was telling it to lie.
Right.
Right, like
I loved that.
So-
He just straight out told us that Max fucked with his head and told him to lie to us.
I mean, he
And
didn't say he
just
fucked
told
with
us
his
the
head. He just
truth.
said, Max told me to say this.
right.
Oh, that was great.
So I feel like in that regard, that could be another insight check. And like if Little One gets bad feelings about this dragon, we will immediately know.
Yeah, that's a good
right.
point. That's a good point. We
And
would just go.
And then at that point, it's going to be either the dragon, it's like it's just situational at that point. I do appreciate the idea of not putting little one in that position. Sorry brought that up, and Zed's, as like a fatherly figure to little one is now kind of contemplating that potential danger. But if we are gonna leave the Feywild, little one's like he's not leaving little one here, so he's also gonna be with us regardless.
Right.
So yeah, just a
those
lot
are
of things to
interesting
think
points
about.
that he's never met another of his kind. We don't necessarily know how to raise a dragon.
Right. Like
Like
the funny part
yeah,
is the only insight that Zed has on taking care of little one has been from Sarissa.
from this person, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
That's
Right.
a good point.
Niavara handling all of her tangled feelings around her adoption, being like, "You have no idea what you can do to that creature, how badly you can fuck it
Yeah,
up right now," but
right.
not also being able to say that straight to Zed's face. Like, do
When
you
Yeah.
want a second Niavara? Because this is how you get a second Niavara.
Yeah, but
Aw.
little one's situation is not the same as Nevar's situation.
I don't know
I think
about
it's
that because what that character Max did to little one at the very beginning was brutal.
Oh, I
I
missed
mean,
I
that.
think Cubed and I
if you go
talked about
back to
it
that
a little
episode,
bit.
if you go back to that episode and listen to it, what Max did to that creature was horrifying
Would you
from my
send me
mind.
a text, Charles, like which episode that is? If you could figure out which number that is, I'd love to hear it.
I
I'll
will
try
say
to think
Cubed and I
back.
talked about it a bit OOC, and there's some like ironic similarities between little one and Zed.
There is.
Yes.
They're both orphans. They both don't know where they came from or who their parents are, or realistically who they are. Zed doesn't even know his own real name.
Oh,
Zed
wow.
Thatcher is a name that was given to him by the captain of the Ashen Wake, which is a ship he stowed away on one day when he was just trying to get food. So
And that little creature was on a ship,
right,
and
it's
we
like
came in
the
there.
similarities are
Yeah.
really uncanny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, more or less like when Zed was found, he was taken in by his captain. When little one was found, Zed pretty much took him in the very same way, not realizing that he was more or less kind of doing the same thing that his captain did, but it was from the same place.
Instead of the
As
cycle
far
of
as
violence, the cycle of love.
yeah, like
Right.
I'm,
Yeah.
I might understand you, and I don't know who you are, or where you came from, but I know that I can at least take care of you. And
Yeah.
so there's some
Mm.
that's why to give context as far as like why little one's been so important as far as to Zed specifically, but I guess the whole party is that. And so yeah, it's been weird. Like when little one was taken away, it was pretty
Oh, it was
extreme for
big.
my
It
character.
was not. It was, from what I remember,
That
it was
wasn't
not a fun
pretty.
time. Zed was
Oh. Well, when
Zed
I
was
met you
emotionally
guys, Zed
dead.
was really in a bad way.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah,
met you
Yes.
guys, Zed was
And it was
really
because of that
down.
too.
Yeah.
I remember like mentioning that it was kind of a shitty time for you guys to be introduced to my character because I was not like he was very distraught.
Honestly,
in a lot of ways.
I think what it showed is that it was a rough time to meet your character because he wasn't in his right state of mind. But it was a
Mhm.
great moment for your character for us to see because it shows that your character
was
is a genuinely
vulnerability.
caring man.
Yeah, I had nothing but compassion
That's
for
fair.
Zed from the
Yeah,
moment I
yeah.
met him.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Now, if
He
you had
very
acted
much
like a
was the
dick, there would have been problems, but you
That would
didn't.
have been different.
yeah.
Yeah, before he was taken, I felt like Cha and Zed were like I felt like Zed was dad and Cha was mom to little one. And it was
Mhm.
Cha saw a lot in there with little one and his own upbringing as well. when he was taken, that was very odd.
Mm.
It was odd for everybody, I guess, in their own ways.
Ah, yes. The father mother dynamic.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, like, what is a family if not 6 adventurers in a trench coat?
There.
6 adventurers and a dragon in a trench coat.
And we got
That's
and-
going
and
in.
a-
That's going in the quote book.
Fair enough.
s-
That should be on a T-shirt.
skeletal-
That one.
a skeletal
good one.
kitten and a squirrel
Aw.
named Alan. I mean, we've got quite the gambit.
Oh, and don't forget the weird cat that just shows up sometimes to fuck with Chaw specifically.
That's clearly the uncle.
We're starting to, we're starting to see that creature as, I think, a member of the family.
That's clearly Chaw's uncle.
That's the uncle who comes asking you for drug money.
Yeah.
And you just lovingly give it, knowing that you're enabling.
He hasn't killed anybody yet. He's not a
Families
problem.
are sick. Families are sick, you know. Go get your speed, Uncle Joe.
Hey, just do it inside of your house and don't cause problems.
Uncle, you said Uncle Joe, and I just
Yep.
pictured Uncle Joe with his golden ticket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, what a great number!
get
That's
your-
a great number.
Go get your chocolate, Uncle Joe. Okay,
get a
Niamara, I need to make sure this is
golden
clear.
ticket.
What is a family but 6 strangers in trench coats? Is that
No,
what you
6
said?
adventurers.
adventurers.
6 adventurers in a trench coat.
Okay, good. Mine was creepier. Yours is much
6
more D&D.
strangers in a trench coat.
It's like the sequel to 10 Heads in a Duffel Bag. 6 strangers in a trench coat.
6 strangers in a trench coat.
All right. Well, they've digressed from D&D. So, with that, I'm going to wrap up the stream there. So, yeah, thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for basically being here and hanging out. Like, that's all I could really ask, you know? Let's see, I already did the announcement for tomorrow, D&D at 5:30 Pacific. Different group, like I said before. Different feel. They are in the middle of a battle, so that's going to be interesting as their town is somewhat burning down. So yeah, for those of you on the Ubes Tubes, every Tuesday, 7:30 Pacific. If you want to come on by and watch it live. Yeah, sorry for earlier. Apparently I muted when I had to cough and then missed a little bit, but I kind of went back and did a quick recap of what probably got missed. But yeah. Oh yeah. So with that, anywho, I hope you all have a wonderful evening or morning. I'm sure it's somewhere in between those two for somebody, somewhere at some point, eventually, inevitably. Yeah. So I will catch you next time as I wrap this up, and I need to get I think I got the last episode up on YouTube, but I'm gonna double check like right after this. Actually, maybe I'll just upload this one immediately just to be safe. Yeah, I'll look into that. Anywho. Yeah. Catch you next time. All right. Try not to have too much fun without me, or at least until tomorrow. Okay. All right.